Do you improve of everyone, including King and Devil Jin? I mean, yeah, because we haven't seen the nerfs, you know? If people are complaining about it, like, you shouldn't be. Because the whole point of this Tekken talk was to show the new, unique, interesting aspects of Season 2, showing the new moves, the new mechanics, the new character gimmicks, and showing how they've tried to freshen up the game a little bit, give characters more unique things, get rid of a lot of the homogeny that was with all of the characters, which is something that people were complaining about. And we don't know what all of the nerfs for the characters look like to compensate for that. It goes both ways. Like they said, they remove Power Crush Heat Engager, they give characters a buff to compensate for that. At the same time, they give characters a buff for something, there's probably a corresponding nerf, right? We saw the positive thing characters are getting, but we're not seeing all of the negatives. We're not seeing all of the nerfs. So you can't form an opinion on balance just based off of this. The opinion that you can form is how much more unique that they've made all of the characters. That's the only thing you should be judging here. The unique mechanics and interactions and the things that they've given characters to make them stand out more and feel like their own character instead of being a stance 50-50 machine. Like, you know, every character is in the game. One of the main complaints about the game. And you can't deny looking at this that they've improved on that. That they've changed that. Just look at how Anna's unique mechanic works, you know? Look at how Zafina's mechanic works. Now she has all of these moves that she can make safe if she has her little install thing. And she has to get that in her own way. That's not something our characters in the game have. That changes how she has to utilize her moves in neutral. Or like in given mix-up situations like after a heat smash. That's unique to her. That makes her stand out as her own character. And that's something that we should be praising. We shouldn't be looking at this like, oh no, they buffed all of the characters. Now the game's dead. We don't know what they nerfed. You can't make that assumption. Like, you can't be worried about something you don't know. We should be happy that the direction that they're going in is making the characters more unique and fun and interesting to play and not just making them all feel like the same character, like no matter who you play. So this is a 10 out of 10. Hold on, Seth, what do you think about the whole counter hit notification? It's in SOULCALIBUR 6! It's been in SOULCALIBUR 6 since 2018! It doesn't matter! It's not a big deal! It doesn't matter! I don't give a fuck about what Fee said in his 20-minute video, he's wrong! If you're making a 20-minute video about the notifications in Tekken, you're wrong! I've been using that shit for 7 years! 7 years! He doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't give a shit about all these fucking influencers, content creators, all the people on Twitter that are like, oh, the notification's bad. You haven't played SOULCALIBUR 6. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Shut up! She doesn't have a heat mechanic. Or like a unique character mechanic. That's interesting. All I could think about OOOs when the occasional tourney crowd there at the same time.
Key pillars to the concept of Anna as a character. First being close-up speed. Second,
no gauge. That's crazy. She's the first DLC character to not have one. I'm surprised.
And also the third being.
But she has that poison thing.
Into different forms. Lovely Tom, and she has some powerful attacks with these. So speedy kind of pokes and jabs.
You see how the counter thing comes up after the counter hit? That's why it's not a big deal. It's the same. I mean, it's like in the middle of the screen, which is a little bit annoying instead of it being like up here, which would make more sense. But it's the same as SOULCALIBUR. It's not a big deal. Oh no, the words counter on the screen. We're all gonna die. No.
In the mix
is that launching low? Yeah, welcome to like every other Tekken game that Anna's been in. That's a -7? I thought that was plus on block. It's a shotgun and a rocket launcher. It's many things. They changed with him. Attack, like the hit counter is too. Not that that matters, but it's up here now. Is it up here because that's what's displayed in game? Quite far into the middle of the screen because they have the input display on. Maybe.
So like Nina, she also has the uppercut with the straight punch as well, cross.
Weapon charges after doing stuff. That's so strange. Sounds like a Soul Calibur thing to me.
展開を作って、カウンターを取ったりできますが、ちょっとお待ちください。
So you could throw out a few of these quick moves and fish for counter hits.
で、アパストから、前に入れておくことで新しい構えに行けます。
By holding forward during the uppercut cross, you can go into a different stance.
Oh,
ハンマーチャンスっていう
that's new.
構えですね。
It's called hammer chance.
Excuse me? They called it hammer
You
chance?
can have
Are you
other techniques
crazy?
available from the stance.
カオスジャ
They
ッジメント
called the
に
stance
入れて
hammer
おく
stance.
こともできます。
You can also transition to chaos judgment as well.
Sue?
で、アンナの長所3つなんですけども、
Whoever the hell is watching my stuff at Bandai Namco, I'm watching you.
攻撃によって
I see you. You know about the hammer attack, huh? I'm
So she
watching
has some of
you.
these quick techniques at her disposal.
Don't think you
but
can
also some
escape.
of the
I'll
powerful
find whoever
techniques
you
using
are.
Lovely Tom to get the advantage on her opponent.
で、さまざまな場所から中段と下段の2択で攻め崩す手段を持っていて、ガードを固める相手に、
Anyway, I'm gonna sue.
強い攻撃方法
You can't use hammer attack anymore.
And then
Yes.
other mid
Hammer
and low attacks to
chance.
kind of mix up her opponents and open up defensive.
That's
players.
crazy.
あとはキャンセル特殊構えを使った絡め手だったり、専用のデバフ効果、後ほど説
All
明し
characters
ま
must
す
have
けど、
3 new stances in
衰
Tekken 8. They
弱
were
状態っていう
legally
ものがあっ
obligated.
て、相手のペースを崩しやすい戦い方ができます。
So you can use cancel some of these strings and go into stances, or she has a special unique mechanic.
New
that has
options
a
for a training
buff,
dummy? That's good.
Effect on her opponent.
はい、その分、
Oh, they're gonna talk about the gimmick.
2択が強い分、ローリスクな攻め手が少なく
I hope her heat smash will be a
読み
low.
が通らないと
No.
ダメージが取りづらい
Actually, yeah.
形になっています。
So the kind of
Actually,
drawback
no.
of Anna is that she doesn't have any really good low risks moves to throw out there. You have to kind of commit to one of the choices.
That looks
and if
slow
you
as hell.
aren't reading your opponent correctly, then it's tough to give damage to them.
はい、2
Damn,
択を仕掛
sounds
ける
like
ために
Lidia. I
しゃ
love
がみ
it.
を作ったり、横移動をしたりと、一手必要になっているので、相手の出方を伺う必要があります。
So you'll need to crouch to start up some of these things, or start off from a sidestep position. So you really have to look at your opponent's tendencies and judge.
The
correctly.
giving characters weaknesses. The fact that they cite that as a weakness when that's a similar weakness to Lidia gives me a little bit more confidence that they're not just going to make her brain dead.
She doesn't have as many punishing techniques as other characters, or moves that can kind of change the tide of the battle compared to other characters.
はい、じゃあ、アンナを使う上で、簡単に、
This is very different from like what they were saying about, say, I think King at the beginning of the game, where they were like, we want to get rid of the weaknesses. He's had this problem forever, and we're just getting rid of it.
When you first pick up Anna.
まずこの前々 RP ヘッドレス
You're speaking to me.
ホーミングアタックで上段攻撃
Giving characters weaknesses like that, where you have to actually
First
like
off,
play
it
the
is,
mind game
forward
with them,
right
is
punch, which does, it's a homing attack actually.
I like it.
But it is a high attack.
Why is the Tekken team so
Though
based today?
when your
They're
opponent
actually
blocks,
doing
it
good
leaves
shit.
you
I
at
don't
a
know.
+4 frame advantage.
I'm
例えば
shocked.
これをガードすると4フレーム有利なので相手のジャブに
But of course, we have the homing high plus on block heat engager. I don't know if it's a heat engager on normal hit, but this is just a not generic bullshit move.
はい、でヒット時に
Plus 4 on block homing high, excuse me. It's better than, it doesn't give her heat engager at least, but it's better than Leor's plus
There's also
8.
follow-up attacks available.
はいで
Anyway, buff Lydia's core circle forward
次に紹
4.
介するこの前々 LKRP っていう技がありまして
So for people who kind of
Damn, I can really
catch on
hear
with that
Setsuka's
attack,
voice in
there's
there
some
now.
other options that she can use after that.
なんで上段を
My mind
上段を
is
振って
clear.
展開を作りつつでしゃがむ相手にはこういう
I guess the thing that makes the plus 4 okay, though, is that Anna doesn't have a lot of great counter hit tools from what I remember, right? The down forward one is quite good, but she doesn't have the best, like, safe follow-ups after that plus 4, so you still have to think about it.
ガードされても反撃を受けないので非常に使いやすい技になってます。
Also, another note is even if you do use this and your opponent blocks, there's no punish to that.
Yeah, they have to sidestep it, right? Don't tone down the top 15, 20 hard down. I don't care about how balanced Anna is. She won't make a dent in the meta. Yeah, it's true. The biggest
Like
buff
her
to low
sister, you can go
tiers
from
like
uppercut,
Lydia
cross
is to
into,
nerf the top tiers.
That stance called the hammer chance, in which you have various attacks from that.
でこれを暴れてくる人にはこうカウンター取って両キックでヒート発動みたいなこともできます。
And so for people who try to interrupt your combination, you can actually
Yeah, and that's not even a full launcher. It just gives a heat engager, which
で
is
最後もう一個、使い
does
やすい
that
技を紹介しますが
almost makes me think they nerfed Nina's to be similar.
この 1RK ですね、ミストレスヒールっていう技
Did you just say Lidia low tier? Yes,
I
I
forgot
did.
what the English name is.
The
It's
booty
called-
heat engager?
Japanese,
Stop.
but it's,
1RK、
1RK. So down back, right kick.
Oh, okay.
まあ、これもハンマーチャンスに行けて展開を作れる。
Oh, that's minus
You can use that to
14.
get
Damn.
into the hammer chance, to then
Oh, and then her
pressure
core
opponent
circle forward one is a heat engager now.
でこれがカウンターヒットすると
That used to be a launcher on
相手が
normal
大幅
hit,
有
so
利
that's a
な
nerf.
状態になって
But I think it makes sense in this
自分
game.
が大幅有利になって
A lot
ハンマー
more
チャンスっていうのが
reasonable,
得る
especially for being
これが連
plus
続ヒットし
6.
ます。
Oh. If you do catch them with a counter hit on this, there is a guaranteed
nice.
follow-up
Okay.
with LP,
はい。
left punch.
なのでまあこの技と
Interesting though. Oh wait, so that stance was her previous like sway stance. That's what that is.
Uppercut cross combinations.
So this isn't new because that move was out of her core
展開する
circle.
ことができます。
And the down
I don't
back
remember if it was
right
core
kick
circle forward or
are
back.
the moves you're
But
gonna
they just
want
made
to
it so
look
she
at.
doesn't have to do that anymore and she goes into stance automatically. So it's like,
今回しゃがみ
I
基
guess
着を選べる
kinda like
ようにな
law.
っているのでまあこの辺も強いポイントですね。
And from Heat, from season 2, obviously, you can choose to follow your opponent and then go into a crouching stance, which gives you mix-up options.
so it's basically Lydia's
はい
down 2
まあ
except it's down back 4. Yeah, that's what it seems like.
技です。
So those are the techniques you'll want to look out in neutral.
I wonder if you can hit confirm it then into the stance or not, or how that dynamic works.
まず非常に2択が豊富でして、立ち状態はまずは
Notifications would be further to the left, but
先ほど紹介した
there because of input history. That would make sense.
So for the mix-ups, Anna's got lots of them. First, you'll be looking at the uppercut cross, and then the down back right kick he was just talking about.
はい
Oh no, Anna,
続いて
please look at how I'm
しゃがみ
crouching to
状態で
block your lows and ducking your highs. Oh, I wish you didn't just use your mid booty heat engager.
Crouching,
It's
we've got,
launch
while
punishable.
standing right punch.
Unless they changed it. If they changed it, it's going to be like minus 14 or something, but historically it's launch punishable, so
which is
it's not like it's safe or anything.
starting from a crouching and then down forward and right.
Unless they showed it and it's safe and I missed it.
Is a good mix-up from crouching.
はい、あと
Season 1's
横移動
practically over,
この両
even
パン
mid.
チ
Lydia's
の
low
ブ
tier.
ラッ
I
クカウスと
vindicate and I
横移動
actually like the chat tier.
カウス
Yeah, I can say that
こち
Lydia's
ら
low
が
tier now, so
中段
that
と
because she's not gonna.
And from a side
What I
step,
say
you've
isn't gonna
got,
influence her
both
getting
punch
nerfed or
buttons
not.
Giving that mid option, and then.
What kind of demon made the booty mid launch punishable? Well, Lisa's was launch punishable in Tekken 7, so whoever did that.
この下段ノーマルヒットはプラスマイナス0ですけどカウンターヒットするとプラス14フレーム取れるのでここからまたこういった
Yeah, that's pretty good though. It leaves you plus 14 in crouch.
プラス14です、ね、
Oh, so on normal hit, it's basically 0, plus or minus 0. But if you can counter hit them with that, you'll have plus 14 frames.
はい。なんでまあアンナ
It doesn't give you anything guaranteed. They're doing an animation where they can block.
作るかっていうのが結構重要になってきます。
So if you want to play Anna effectively, you're going to be making a lot of use of these, from
That
crouching.
animation where they grab their foot, I'm pretty sure that it doesn't give you anything guaranteed from what I remember.
まあ結構コンボも簡単なのでこれカウンターヒットしたら RP 連打して RPLPRP ってやるとまあ50ダメージとか取れますね。
So it's pretty easy. You can do mostly jamming on RP. Sometimes in the middle of that RP, LP, RP.
I love how all the time during the Tekken talk they have so little confidence in their player base that they always have to say with every character. So yeah, it's pretty easy. You can just mash the 2 button and then get a combo.
So for hammer chance, you can go directly into the stance. Being,
Dude, I keep hearing hammer chance and it's fucking me up.
And left kick at the same time.
はい、こちらはですね、ハンマーチャンス LP で、まあ、発生の早い上段ヒート発動技
The
があり
fact
ます
they called this stance
For
hammer
if you
chance
push
is
left punch,
just.
You get that kind of fast activating.
This
move,
isn't a
get the heat
coincidence.
engager on hit.
で
I know it's not a
リターンの
coincidence.
RPLP
Anna and Lidia having that interaction in the trailer, her having this giant like hammer attack with her bazooka,
Also, if you
calling
go
it
for
hammer
damage,
chance. This is not a
stance
coincidence.
And then doing RP, LP, RP gives you some nice damage there.
It's +6. Oh, fuck you. You know exactly what you've done. It's +6 on block.
ガードさせて有利で削りダメージが取れる。
They know.
Use that option to
Hirata didn't give any indication when I walked up to him at Frosty, but they know.
はい。で、さらにまあ下段も下段は
You bring up the hammer, I bring up the chance.
LK かな ?LK で下段が。
It's a +6 on block,
There's
heat
also
engager, and it's a mid. No, that move's not a heat engager.
Hammer chance that's low attack.
If you don't yell hammer chance on stream whenever it happens, I'll unsub and become a king main. Oh, I will. No, no, no. This is hammer chance 2.
And you can also choose to go from
Hammer
crouching
tech
to
is now
crouching
hammer
there,
chance.
you can return to crouching.
And Ana's is now hammer chance 2.
まあカウンターとかからまあ行ったりするといいかもしれないですね。
That said, it is -3 on normal hit, so you might want to look for counters to press your advantage.
Yeah, so yeah, it's like Lydia's
以上が
down
二
2.
択の紹介と
I like this. I like how Ana
And
is
that's
like
some
you
of the
have to
mix-ups
set up
and,
for
some of
the big
moves
mix up from
available
crouch,
the hammer chance
but
stance.
it's not just like mindless 50-50s like a lot of Tekken 8 characters are. And that's why I remember her being in Tekken 7, how it was like you look at her at first and you think, oh, it's just like brain dead mix-ups, but there's actually a lot of nuance to how you have to set it up. And they preserve that here in Tekken 8, and that's great.
RP
Her and Lidia are very similar
するとヒット時に
in that regard.
新しいそのプレジャータイ
If you
ム
like the general
これ英語何やっけ
sort of
まあこの重火器ラブリとも勝つ
mind game, not like the 50-50 stance style, but the mind game that Lydia produces, you probably like playing
She
Ana.
has, if you go into hammer chance.
That's why I
the,
wanted to give her a
right punch,
try.
right punch, called pleasure time in Japanese. Sorry, I don't have the English directly in front of me. But you can notice she takes it out, the weapon out, lovely Tom, as a bazooka.
はいでまあこのプレジャータイム中 RP で
Bazooka's a stance,
貫
yeah.
通弾が撃てて
Precision change
You
having
can
enough
choose
that
to
hammer and
have
chance.
piercing ammo.
LP で
To say
この炸裂
piercing
弾
ammo, I feel like
相
I'm
手
playing
に
Yu-Gi-Oh.
デバフ効果を付与する弾が撃てます
Or with left punch, you can. It has a debuff effect on hit of your
はい
opponent. これガードでもデバフ。
そうです
のみガードでも。
ガードでも
Even on block.
Even
で
on
まあ
block,
こ
you
う
can
衰
see
弱
that.
状態
Huh?
になるとキャラクターにちょっと今弱ってますよっていうエフェクトだったりキャラクターの
What's the debuff? That's what I'm wondering
キャラクター
too.
アイコンにも今衰弱状態ですよっていう
Think explaining it.
RPG みたいな感じだね。
はい、まあ、鉄拳初のデバフ効果がついて
First time we've done this in Tekken, but you can see the effect was on the character, kind of a rough, the purple outline.
Debuff's
and then
still
if you look
going.
at the character icon on the top right of the screen, you'll also see this notifies of being in that debuff state.
はい、でこの
So,
衰弱状態
based on what we
って一
saw
体
in the
何なのか
previous
っていう
Tekken
と
talk, it looks like it goes away if
So what
you
is it?
hit
Okay,
Ana.
let's talk about it.
どんな攻撃を、ガードしても削りダメージを受けてしまう、まあ、相手側がですね
Yeah. So, in that state, your opponent will take chip damage from any attack, not just
Oh,
the ones.
that's
normally set
really
to do that.
こん
interesting.
な感じで相手の体力見てほしいんですけど
Look
Oh,
at
wait,
the,
this is actually
the
such a
life
cool
gauge on the
mechanic.
Top right.
アンナがヒートでもないのに
Oh, I
削り
love
ダメージが
this.
入っていると
I'll
So
explain why in a
Anna's not
second.
in the heat state, but you can see the
This is so
recovery
cool.
gauge being induced.
はい、でこれどうやって、解除するかっていうのをお見せします
So, if you're the opponent, how do you remedy that?
Holy shit, wait. They just took Hammer Tech and put it into a character. Are you out? Wait a second. This is the whole thing with Hammer Tech. They give her Hammer Chance stance. The Bazooka Hammer strike like that is +6 on block. She has an entire mechanic
Hold
that's
on a
just
second.
dedicated
He's
to
trying to
doing more
get
chip
it set up
damage.
correctly.
They actually made Ana for me, specifically. That's what they did. They stole your dues. That they did. They actually just took Hammer Tech and turned it into a character.
So now when the opponent is in the debuff state,
Oh, the Lidia Discord must be foaming at the mouth right now.
if the opponent attacks Anna,
こんな感じで
then the effect is removed. ブロックじゃなくて
My Lidia tech was so good that they took it and made it an entire character.
はい、なので、まあ、アンナは相手をデバフ状態にした
No,
ら相手が
I'm
ジャブだ
playing
った
Ana.
り
They made this character for me. They made her for me. Specifically for me.
だろうってとこで、そこで手玉に取って、下段はカウスジャッジメントで、逆にいなしたり、ジャブを読んで、
Seth, we got main on it together.
作ったりっていうのが、この衰弱状態の駆け引きになります。
When on a
So
Twitch
what
chat and
happens
shit.
is
Yeah.
when you have your opponent in the debuff state, you know that they're going to try to remove that state by doing quick attacks. If that's a low, then you can go into Chaos Judgment. If you think they're going to do a jab, then you have your other options that
Wait,
you
this
would do
character's
from
sick.
crouching, etc.
はい。で、ここにプラクティス。
Please don't drop Lydia. I'm not dropping Lydia. You don't have to worry about that. But this is
機能
sick,
があるんで
actually.
これで試してみても。
And there's an option in practice to set this on
This is so cool.
the debuff state. So you can
What
practice different
an
setups.
interesting character. See, stuff like this is why I'm so willing to stick with Tekken 8 because of the problems, because it has a good foundation, it has good ideas. This is such a cool concept. Taking a character that normally just doesn't have good lows and has to do a lot to open the
so
opponent
this,
up, and then
actual
giving her
mechanic is
something like this that you
unique
can
and
set up, so you have
none of the
multiple
other
ways to
characters
set up
have.
damage. You can either like try setting up for the front crouch low, or try getting this debuff state to work, whether it's in
So next,
combos or
let's go
whatever,
to,
and then
heat
focusing on the chip damage, and then there's a new dynamic between you and the opponent, because now your moves function in different ways when the opponent has that debuff stay on them, so you can focus on chip damage. So now your hammer attack,
one of
your
the
hammer
aspects of,
chance
Anna, when
moves
she's in
are
the
all
heat
of a
state
sudden
is,
doing all of
it's
this
easier
chip damage
to,
that they have to respond to. So
inflict
now
that
you're
debuff,
getting mix-ups
effect on your
without
opponent.
doing
これですね。この
lows. But you have to stop from because like that's a high, right? So it's not something you just get for free.
So,
But then when you get that, you have this
upward
big
left
advantage that you can
to
take advantage of.
left punch.
That's completely outside of the scope of what other characters in the game can do. And it's not just a brain dead 50-50. It's a
So if you can touch the opponent
completely
with it, then you
different
can apply
dynamic
that
and
debuff
approach
effect to them.
to opening up the opponent and applying and enforcing mix-ups in Tekken. This is so cool. And then it's also interactive for the opponent as well
slow, but
because
it's
of how they get
+4
out of
unlock,
it by doing
so
fast
you can
moves like
continue
jabs
your
and stuff.
offense.
This is so cool. This is what I wanted character gimmicks in the Heat system to be like since the beginning.
して攻撃力アップします。
Another
This is
is
awesome.
more powered up attacks using Lovely Tom, where the damage increases.
はい。ちょっとこれはヒートじゃない状態から見せますね。まず。
So start off from not heat. So
The
you can have a
homing
comparison.
high plus move becomes extra scary with the debuff.
スラッシュコマンドで出てきます
Talk about that in a second.
これが普段ヒートじゃない時に出
That's
す。
sick.
So, for example, the slash kick.
That's a
with the
Soul
left
Calibur
kick,
slide.
and then right punch following it.
They actually made
that's
this character
the
for me.
normal attack for her.
Setsuka's voice actress, hammer chance, +6,
And during
chip
heat,
damage, Soul Calibur
The
slide.
number of shots increases.
でダメージちょっと見てほしいんですけど、かなり。
This character is so sick. This is just Terra's 4-4 or Gloomy Stance 4-4 hold.
So you can see, like her sister, her attacks from the firearm increase during the heat state.
はい。これしかもガードされても特に。
She has a slide of 64 damage on counter hit.
But
Welcome
when
to Soul
blocked,
Calibur.
there's no,
It's Setsuka's voice actress. It is.
Opponent punishes or anything, so you're okay with that. なんか結構チャット欄がうわー、オーマイガードって言ってるけど、でもこれヒット強化中だからね。
あんまヒート時のみ。
Now we give
あと
her
まあ
a
横
way
に
rod.
そんな強くないので。
So, you know, obviously it is during the heat state, so people are freaking out in chat, you know, please keep that in mind. And Nakatsu
This is
mentioned,
so sick.
It is a bit weak to side.
Also, hello, Seth. Hi, Zachio.
We have options.
はい。で3つ
Like,
目の
imagine the
ヒート中の
poison
強化要素
state while in
あ
heat.
れ
The chip damage.
はい
We're experimenting with Anna. Oh my god.
このスライディン
Chip
グ
is at least more fair than what some top
Also, you
10
can
characters
open
can do
that.
right now. Yeah, because you actually have to stop for and this counterplay to it. That's what makes it interesting. That's what makes it
あとはです
fun.
ね、アンナの、コンセプトに
Waits
あ
to
る二択能力
sidestep.
ですね
Just sidestep.
が強力になって相手のガード
But then you have that homing move as well, which normally is like, it's fine, it's good. But then when you also on
So,
block are
she
taking that
has
chip
better,
damage on top of
Mix-up
the
options during heat as well to open up opponents.
the
例えば
+4.
このコールドブレード
Oh my god, it's minus 21 on block.
For example, Cold Blade, that while crouching down forward right punch.
これが今ちょっとカウンター後になってるんでオフにします、
I ain't complaining, but I ain't glazing. This is only kinda cool. This is what I wanted
So
from
that's the
Tekken
normal
characters
one?
since the beginning.
で
This is a Soul
途中の
Calibur character.
しゃがんだ状態で
Ana is what a typical character in Soul Calibur 6 would look like.
During,
and it's
the heat
great. I
state,
love
if
it.
you do input the move, but
Tekken practically forget how Soul Calibur brings Soul Calibur to Tekken. It's so true. You should have seen the pro Soul Calibur players when Tekken got its first like gameplay look, and how they were like, they just really copied Soul Calibur's homework.
下段をヒットさせることができて、リーチも伸びるしダメージも上がるといった、強力な技なので。
So,
the homing high is slow. Can't you step duck
if your
it?
opponent tries to evade from,
I wouldn't rely on that. You could theoretically, but I wouldn't rely on it.
And it does a little bit damage.
はい。で、当然その2択が強力になるっていうことで対になる中段の選択肢ですね。
Next up, we're going to look at mix-up options from mid.
しゃがんだ状態で 3LP ですね。これ。
So while crouching, then you put 3LP.
3LP。
So down forward, left punch.
普段はこれヒート発動技ですね。
It's normally a heat engager.
で、
I don't know if you can hear it, Zakio, but when she does that,
ヒートダッシュでこう追いかけて追撃ができる。
So since it is a heat engager, during the heat state,
I'm trying not to blow your ears
choose
out,
to
but
do the heat dash. 要はヒートのメカニクスを使ってヒートダッシュするということですね。
そうです。なんで中段も下段も非常に強力な2択をかけれるようになると。
just so many different ways to be safe.
So you can follow up your mid attacks to chase down.
Yeah, but even if she's safe with these mids, what are they doing? If the opponent just blocks, right? That's where the mind game comes in.
こんな感じで下段を
It really is Setsuka's VI. Yup.
So you can hit them with low attacks, or
That was pointed out to me in the
you can choose to follow up with the mid.
in a comment on the reaction video.
っていうところで2択能力がアップします。
62 damage
So,
now from that
she gets a little
stupid
bit
low.
better, with her mix-ups
Was that the
during
mid?
state.
Well, this is the mid. This is definitely not
はい、
optimal.
こんな感じです。
But yeah, that's the mid.
So yeah, that's what it looks like.
Probably the point of the low, you do the low and then you do the rocket shot to debuff them to set up for chip
Next,
damage,
about the
right?
heat smash.
I think that's the main purpose.
これちょっとステージを変えますね。
Instead of just going for damage
So
necessarily.
let's change the stage real
Imagine if they
quick.
give Heaven and Earth to that same chip debuff but reduce the initial attack chip.
多いかな。
Thinking of it, I haven't really been looking at
あ、どうだったっけな。
the chip damage changes in heat. I probably should. I get 65 damage in Tekken 7 with her low. And there's less health in Tekken 7,
ヒ
yeah.
ートスマッシュ特徴的な
And there's more wall carry
ところ
too.
を紹介しますと、ちょっと
I guess
一
if,
旦
unless they use heat burst, of
ハー
course.
ドウォールブレ
Hammer
イク
tech
の
built in with the
ところ
debuff,
に
it's hella good. It's crazy.
So now he's just setting up the stage with hard wall break.
This is really cool
show
though.
off some things.
アンナのヒットスマッシュこちら
her heat smash gives the debuff too.
From With Love っていうのが
So that way, even after your heat ends, you can still, because you're plus on block, you still get chip
しゃがみ
damage.
ステータスが付与されてます。
Cool.
So the heat smash is a 13 frame startup, and
発生13の中段攻撃でしゃがみステータスが出
That heat smash looks different. It's the one they show in the
with
trailer.
crouch status.
で見てもら
Question
っ
is,
た
does
通
being
り
in the heat
ウォールブレイ
stack
ク
with the debuff for
ウォールブラストを
massive
誘
chip?
発可能な
I assume so.
And,
That's what I was wondering too.
reduces wall
But
splat.
wait, this is 13. I didn't even realize that. That's crazy.
壊せる
So even if it's a hard wall break, she can break the wall with one hit.
はい、さらに相手を先ほど紹介した衰弱状態デバフ状態にするっていう効
The
果も
way she stands is
And
goofy, and I love it.
Heat to smash.
はい
I wonder what the tracking on this
まあ
is.
ハンマーチャンスだったり、
Ah, she can do it in stance as well.
あ、そっか。
プレイジャー
スマッシュにできるようになったと。
はい、シーズン2で一部のキャラが持っている構えからヒートスマッシュっていうものが出せるので
That's gonna be pretty good,
ハンマーチャンス
especially in
から出したり
I wonder if it gives the
プ
debuff
レ
on
イジャータイム
block.
から狙うことができます。
And since in season 2, characters can now
It does look like because she goes like this, though
heat
it's
smash
linear.
during their
あ
stances.
ごめんなさい、僕間違えました。
あ
ハンマーチャンスからは出せて、
Anna can do the heat smash during the hammer
あと
chance.
カオスジャッジメント中も出せます。
And also during the Chaos Judgment.
ただし、
Chaos Judgment.
Yeah, that being 13 frames in Chaos Judgment is
ちょっと
crazy.
出せないようになってます。
It being
But not
13
during
frames in
the
general is
pleasure
already really good, but
Sorry,
being
I
able to
don't know if that's
cancel like
ここからは出せないです。ここから出せないです。ちょっと構えてるんで。
Because she's,
like down forward 1 2 4, right? In the chaos judgment, and then do that is really strong. She can't. They just said she can't do it in the rocket launcher though, so not every stance she can do it in.
で、これ何が強いかっていうと、しゃがみステータスがついているので、例えば
I hope her heat smash doesn't track. It doesn't look like it will.
読んで
It looks linear.
出すと。
Of course, could be wrong. Don't know how many hits they're gonna be, because that second hit clearly looks like it's tracking, but
例えばここで、普段だった
the
ら
all low parry stands is here. Yep.
でこの RK はカウンター取れるんですけど、これアパストガードさせた後に。
Oh my god, did you see how down forward 1 2 just beat jab there? Holy shit.
Interrupt your string with a jab.
アパスト前でハンマーチャンスに行ってここでヒートスマッシュ打つと
Is that does that have a parry effect on it? Is that what's happening?
You can go into the hammer chance from the uppercut straight, the cross straight into hammer chance, and then do the heat smash to go under the jab.
No, it crushes the jab. Okay. It looked like it
使うことができるので、かなりヒートスマッシュは使いやすくて。
I fear she's going onto that. Yeah, you just said they're going onto the jab. Not every stance doesn't have. Yeah, no, it's not every stance. It's just more. A lot of things in this game look like me. That's true. I hate to admit, but this showcase make me hype for the new Tekken original character.
Heat
Same.
smash is quite useful.
Yeah.
Also, the various different tools she has from crouching stance and the crouch status moves.
Down jab still beats this, by the way.
Ideas of what to try when you
probably sidestep too. Yeah, because remember that stance that she's going into used to be her like sway stance. That's probably why it's crouching. She has blue spots. Now we've seen Anna. I'm hyped they do Julia Kunimitsu with the same level of quality. Well, they've been consistent with the DLC characters. Besides Eddie, Lydia's obviously amazing. Heihachi's really good. Clear strengths and weaknesses, unique heat system. Clive has a unique system. He's okay, but he's a guest character, so whatever.
What's her weaknesses? And Nakatsu just mentioned that not many like low risk pokes.
No, Anna's looking like a great character too.
Low attacks, and then also not a good variety of punishers that many characters have, and also not very suited to defend.
Why is the Tekken team so based? What's going on? I don't know.
Not a character that suits your style, perhaps.
They added the blue spots to a core circle forward one. Oh, so maybe you can choose to go in the stance or do the core circle forward for the blue spots.
あとは2択をかけるにはこの横移動だったり、
いちいちなんかステップを挟
まなきゃいけないので。
And also there's
I
like
love
one
Anna's
step
funny
added to the
stomp
process
low.
when you want to
I do
mix up your
too.
opponent a lot of times because you have to go to the side and side step first, or to crouch first, or something like that.
はい、なんでアンナがなんか手出してきたなって思ってこう。
Yeah, so basically what they're saying is that she doesn't just get mix-ups for free in stance or whatever. You have to set up for them. You have to play mind games with the opponent. Opening up your opponent is a lot more about reading what they're doing and playing against that rather than just going in the stance and doing 50-50s.
Like a side step or a crouch and kind of have a good idea.
Which again is a lot like how Lidia is.
やっぱ各班が強力じゃないっていうのがちょっと。
And I don't even think that Anna is necessarily Lydia-like. It's just Lydia in a different way. Because Lydia is more about like going in the stance and then canceling stance and then trying to like play the mind game to open up the opponent. Anna is similar, but instead if the opponent is blocking, she has ways like with the bazooka debuff and with the from crouch low to open up the opponent that way and force them to respond, right? So you have to... They're doing the same thing but in different ways, right? They have similar weaknesses, but the strengths they have to make up for that are different.
For some tips as well.
She's Pepsi to Lydia's Coke. That is the most perfect way it could have been described. There is no better way to describe it. That is exactly correct.
なんか定山かかってたような気がするけど、ちょっと今正確じゃないんで使えなくて。
So you want to match against Anna? Got it. Yeah, pretty much. Like Lidia, you don't want to mash against because she has like specific ways that she deals with every situation that the opponent's doing. Ana, you have to interrupt her at some point because otherwise she's going to get that debuff and chip or the low. But if you choose not to do anything and she doesn't set up for that, then she doesn't do anything. No, that like it far exceeded my expectations. If there's any other character in the game that I would play and practice to a tournament level, at this point it's Ana. Depending on the changes as well in Season 2, maybe like there could be an argument for Elisa or Yoshi. I'd look at them again for sure. But after looking at that,
things have been changed for Season 2. But Nakatsu's going to pick up some of the more interesting details to give you a
I'm probably going to just play it to God of Destruction. I'm not gonna start playing Lidia. Don't like worry your little heads. But if I had a secondary character, Ana's looking like she's it. The Zuka stance is called Pleasure Time. Murray said that was the name of the stance in Japanese, but they don't know what they translated for English. Get God of Destruction Infinity, please. Well, with Lidia first. Watch people love Ana and then still hate Lidia during Season 2. Well, people love Kazuya and hate Lidia, right? Oh, now the casino character. Kazuya. Oh, Kazuya, we love you. Doria. I'm gonna pocket the fuck out of Ana. I wanna learn some stuff with her. I wanna figure her out. Listen, all I'll say, as the resident Lidia expert, if you like Lidia, you'll probably like Ana. If you enjoy Lydia's weaknesses and how you play around that and the mind games and the situations you get with Lidia, you will probably like Ana. And if you like the concept of Lidia, but she just didn't quite click with you, Ana's probably your character. Give her a try.
It's better to just be able to have everyone.
Lydia's as swaying nervous because Seth is going to abandon her since he found someone else with a more dominant personality. No, no, that is not happening. Lydia casino character derogatory because casino character compliment. Casino bad. Casino good. I like Lidia, so I'll like Ana. Probably, yeah. Lydia's a joke to me, and Ana will be too.
And so Nakatsu just also
we have two hammer users now. You better watch your goddamn mouth. Anyway,
with the patch notes.
I hope Ana's neutral is just as good as Lydia's. What's your take, Seth? I think, well, it depends on obviously the frame dials and everything, but it will be just in different ways.
So it's just a little bit longer for the wait.
Yeah, and Bert's also right. Ana's down forward 1 is objectively best, so she has better pokes and stuff. But like on the other hand, Lidia has better counter hits, so it's really weird. I never cared much about Ana. Not even sure I finished the story mode Tekken 5. This one though, like drop Heihachi, put Ana as my third main. Yeah, I think there's also like I don't know. I do think that Ana is like there's a different approach to how Ana plays, but there's less execution with Ana than there is with Lidia, right? So that's a big thing. Like Ana is very like technical because she has to do the front crouch mix-ups and she uses her moves in different ways based on the debuffs and stuff, right? So there's more technicality in there than there is with Lidia because a lot of what Lidia does is just using the same moves for different situations in different mind games. But Lidia needs to have execution for the 4-4-2 and stuff, and the way the mind games work is different, right? So like Lidia has higher execution and a harder to apply game plan because it fully relies on what the opponent's doing, whereas Ana has more leeway because while she does have to react based on what the opponent's doing, she's doing it with her own moves rather than trying to go against what the opponent's doing, right? So she's more technical, but an easier game plan and less execution than Lidia. I think that's generally, in a very simplified way, that's how it works. So they better give Ana a massive cake in this game. That's all I'm going to say.
はいじゃあ行きましょう
All right, so there's also like the other reason why you might play Ana over Nina, not Nina. Well, yeah, Nina, but
は
also
いシー
Lidia.
ズン2のポリシーですけども、まあ、一つは、
Said the magic word, pokes,
ヒート
French
の戦術の
fries.
幅を広げて、まあ、プレイヤーの個性が出せる状態を目指す
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing though is like
もう一つ、ヒー
Hold
ト
on,
システム
let me listen to this first.
攻防のバランスを見直すっていう、
expand
主に
expand
守り
strategic properties of the heat system.
あとはより
Reevaluate
遊びやすく
offensive and defensive
するため
balance,
に
improve
まあ
controls.
操作性
Okay,
の
sure.
改善だったり
They'll talk
いろんな
about this on the next slide, so let me get my point across. I think that the
So just to give
most
a recap,
important
if you didn't
thing
see
in
the
regards to
previous,
Ana
talk live,
is
3 main
that
policies for season 2 that
if
we're focusing on.
you play
One being
Lydia,
expand the strategic
it's
options
undeniable
of
that she has some
system to
really
allow
bad matchups
people to,
like
have
Steve,
different
for
options,
instance.
basically.
And so if
Then
you play
also,
competitively in
reevaluate
tournament
offensive
and you
defensive
want
balance
a
of
secondary
the
character to
system.
deal with those
Mainly
matchups, then
focusing on,
Ana is
the
probably a
inputs
great
and
pick for
buffs
that.
made to the defensive side of it.
And
then also,
that, if
the
I
various
end
different
up
things we
actually
changed, which
playing
is,
Ana, is
improve
probably how I'll
controls and
use
more
her.
accessible gameplay experience. So we'll be touching on this more.
That's
but
what
this
I
is
think.
Just to keep
Just
in mind.
first thoughts.
はいでは実際の
The gun buff Lydia's down for one like -3 on block. There's zero reason for it to be both short range -5 and only 2 pretty
Starting off with
underwhelming
practice,
extensions. I
we're
agree.
gonna go into the details.
Nina flat.
プ
Okay.
ラクティス
All right, we're getting
ちょ
into
っと
it.
説明する前に
It's probably
ちょっ
gonna
と
be
プラ
my
クティス自
secondary.
体
She
も
looks
機能追
great.
加改善を行ってます。
Only good thing about Ana is I can finally stop sipping
リスタートセッティングに
over blonde.
このプラクティスステージってものが追加されてます。
So, and before that, we've actually made a few improvements to practice. So there is a new practice stage
Oh?
setting,
はい
the stage reset.
これ何かっていうとリスタートすると、まあ、コンボチャレンジだったり
Oh, that's
コマン
nice.
ド再生でおなじみのステージに移動できて
That's
これ
good.
500メートルぐらいあるんですけどかなり広いステージで練習ができるようになってます。
Seth Mayman is gonna hate Ana since she's going to be labeled as
This new
mashy.
stage is about 500 meters.
What
which
character in
allows
this
you to
game
practice
isn't labeled as
a variety of
mashy?
different,
This
combos,
game is
etc.
mashy.
In case you don't know, that's basically 4 times the size of the biggest stage we have so far.
はい、でわざわざちょっとプラクティスステージだけ呼び出すのめんどくさ
Try
い
to
な
play
って人
competitively, but I'm not good enough to worry about matchup specific things. Yeah, that's fair.
このプラクティス専用ステ
I'm
ー
just
ジ
thinking of like in a tournament sense.
And
In a
if it's
competitive
pain in the butt to
sense.
go into the options and change that, you can just push the.
She's a good
touchpad
foil to Lydia while
and,
still
up
keeping
on
a similar
the
game
directional
plan, so they're
buttons
easy to
and
switch
tap
between while
directly
covering some of
options.
each other's bad matchups. So I think if like you're Lydia or an Ana player, it's good to have a pocket of the other character if you play
and then
against someone that's a
touchpad
bad
and
matchup for
left
them.
on directional button gives you a position right near the wall, etc.
はい、あとはですね、細かいんですけど反撃設定に
I think they should add that red space as an actual infinite stage. God, no.
まあガードだった
I know.
りしゃがみガードだったり
Kazi isn't matchy.
下段さば
Very
きだったり
fair.
相手の行
For
動に
real,
ダ
for
ッシュ
real.
とか
On
そういう
God.
の設
A
定できる
Vogue, is that your ult account?
はい
And so for your opponent's counterattacks, you can.
Mayman's gonna
select
hate her
now,
'cause she's a waifu,
standing
doesn't go
guard,
deeper than that.
Crouching guard, back dash, forward dash, side step, low parries.
Yeah, this is great though. More training options is very cool. I'm not paying too much attention to it because let's face it, it doesn't really matter, but it's nice to have that.
あとは相手の行動に、まあ、この受け身後の行動を設定できるようになってたり
You can also now select what your opponent will do after a ukemi.
まあ、この辺ですかね。
Quality of life changes is nice. Yeah, and there's a lot of them
左横移動
too.
右横移動
I'm happy to see it.
右横歩きなバックダッシュなどの項目が追加されてます。
So back dash,
Action
left
after
and right,
ukemi, whoa.
side step, and side walk. Very
Yeah, this
different options.
now this
はい、なんで
this is something that Soul Calibur 6 didn't have. Finally, they introduced a new system or a new mechanic,
So, for
and it's
example, you can try
not
to,
taken from
get a
Soul
frame
Calibur
advantage
6.
and then follow up with
Finally, they did
uppercut,
it.
To see, and then use these different options to see how that plays out. when
What the
opponent
fuck does the
different,
Chun
actions.
command mean?
はい、
Actions
じゃあ
after Ukemi is
大きな
fucking great.
バトルシステム
Yeah, I
の
agree.
変更点について説明します
I'm super happy to see
So now
that.
let's go into some of the battle adjustments.
はい、これはですね、ちょっと攻防のバランスを見直したり、ちょっと強力すぎて、
Okay.
攻
This is
めの
important.
二択の
I'm just gonna
緩
shut
和
up
という
now.
意味で、まあ、気合ダメの性能変更を行ってます。
Save the pro
And to
to Soul
alleviate
Calibur.
some of the 50-50 mix-ups that were a bit overbearing, we changed the spec of the key charge.
はい、今までは気合ダメした後に攻撃が出るとカウンターだったんですけども、カウンター効果が
Key charge setups are gone.
So for those who've been with the series for a while, you know when you key charge before, your first hit would be treated
At
as
least a
counter hit.
nerf.
なので、まあ、カウンターで調べたいときにこのカウンターヒットオンにして もらうと
That's crazy.
今まで通り、カウンターで
So if you're someone like me who likes to do that to check
This
out
shit
the
is still
kind of
natural and counter hit,
options,
by the way.
Now you'll have
Can
to
we
go
just-
into the
can we
menu
just-
itself and select,
Quarong's down back 4
counter hit
into
from the top.
Flamingo forward 4. Still natural and counter hit, by the way.
カウンターからこの RK が連続ヒットだったのが気合ダメではこんな感じでガードできるようになっているので、コンボを決めた後に置き攻めで気合ダメをして、強力な2タックを仕掛
So
け
what's the use of key charge then?
一部のキャラでできていたような、ちょっと、なかなか攻めが強すぎたっていうところで気合ダメに変更が入っています。
And as you saw with what Nakatsu was just doing with that counter, with Hwang and some other characters, they had very strong options. Like with Hwang, you just saw it continued to hit on that first hit.
No, there were some
So
key
it
charge
is a
stabs
very
in this
strong
game that were very
strategy to do a
strong.
key charge when your opponent was down. You know, as a
Like
Okizeme,
Elisa
when
from
you get
long
up to
range
hit
key
them with stuff like
charging and then
this.
boot setup.
ただし
Like
気合
it's
ダメの攻めの効果を
it is a weird change because on one hand, some of these key charge stabs were very niche but very cool.
相手が、攻撃がガードされた時に
But on the other hand, you had some at the wall that were just ridiculous. So
But we didn't want it to have
key
no,
charging is supposed to be a
positives
cut
to it.
now.
So the damage scaling was increased to 150 on that first hit.
Oh my
after
God.
key charge.
Okay, I have to unpin that because I don't have the stream set to mature audiences, so I
And so that's the changes regarding key charge.
I can't have that
続
pinned.
いて空中
Sorry, no, that's fine, that's
軸直し
funny.
っていうものを、シーズン2から入れました。
And next up is adjustments to have your character face the proper direction. A lot of times during combos or aerial
You know what's
juggles,
the truth?
you
No,
would
she's
see your
absolutely
character
right. I
kind of
would
get
leave it
off
up if it
axis,
wasn't for Twitch terms of
axis.
service.
And this is addressed to help that.
これいいよね。
はい、これは結構今まで鉄拳が 3D 格闘で、ちょっと
I
横に
wonder if you
少
can
し移動
still
すると
block them
コ
while
ンボ
key
が
charged.
安定しない
Because
ってことが
surely
多か
that
ったと思うん
means
です
if you're
けど
key charged and you don't do counter hit, the
一発技
opponent
が当たっ
doesn't
た時
counter hit on you anymore, right?
ちょっと待ってくださいね。向き直し効果っていうものを入れてまして、例えば順だったらシーズン1は
Oh, is this making it so like when your side turn that
So what he's saying is
こ
that
こが
June
当たら
has
ず
an
に
insta-
使ってました。
many of the attacks up until now, if you were just even slightly off axis,
Why is it
some
a
of the other
Christmas
hits
ornament?
after that would whiff. With June, he was just showing an example of one of the combos that would whiff during partway through in season 1.
はい、シーズン2からは軸の
it's
軸直しっていう
increasing
もの
each
が入って
light
いるの
attack?
で
What is that?
割と正面に近い
This is a
形
Soul
で
Calibur mechanic.
コンボが
If
安
I've
定
ever
して
seen one.
入るようになってます。
But for season 2, it was adjusted so that the character kind of recalibrates, and you have you're more consistent with your aerial juggles.
Oh, good. Okay. So this is the whole problem of like wall carry on some stages. Lidia, this has got the hop kick. Hop.
So now he's going to show kind of the same type of change, but with Lidia.
ちょっと横に移動した状態でこのライトみたい
Hop kick is fixed. Hop kick is
このジャブが
fixed.
シーズン1はかなり使ってま
So for that jab
Hop
in
kick is
season 1,
fixed.
that would often
Yes.
したなんでもうほぼジャブが安定して
Thank God. Thank
season 2はスプリ
fucking
コンボ割
God.
と正面に近い形で決めやすくなってます
because that kind of
Finally!
recalibration to center the character.
こういった、遊びやすさっていう意味での改
What
善
just
を
happened?
シーズン2で入れてます
And this was done just to make the game more
Go back. Oh, okay.
こういった、
Sorry, I thought I was looking away and I thought she did that in wolf stance. I'm so sorry, I freaked out.
This was
I
done
thought
to
she
make the
just did
game
eat
more,
smack from wolf stance.
user friendly.
Holy shit.
横移動でわざわざ相手の技をかわして攻撃を決めてうまいプレー
I
したのに
I saw red there for a
ミ
second.
スってしまうっていうのを、なるべく緩和したかったので
I like how that combo still didn't work with the
安
jab.
定するようには
Still got a couple of things you gotta work on there.
です
This is because we noticed a lot of people that did something really cool where they were properly evading their opponent's attacks, but then their follow-up combo with whiff partway through we felt was unfair, so we wanted to address that.
Oh my god, they've specifically looked at me playing Lidia.
崩れ前提のコンボあったじゃない。
はい
ね
あれとかはどうなるんですかって質問が来てます。
かなり軸ずれてると、そこまで治るものじゃないんで、
Zafina's combos were consistently scuffed by that. Yeah, so anyone that doesn't know, Lidia's hot kick went off axis. If you were between like two specific angles with specific characters, the combo just would drop. There was no reason behind it. There was no consistency behind it. Lidia got install on hit. What? What happened?
This is because, you know, we noticed a lot of people.
Lidia got stacked with heat smash. Oh, good. That's actually a really good buff.
This is because, you know, we noticed a lot was
Okay.
change it that much.
Oh, is it here?
This is just, it's going to completely rearrange you to the front. But it is supposed to alleviate this a little bit.
I like how Lydia's hot kick punish is still inconsistent, but at least they know so they can fix it, since they're seeing it right now. But no, that's good. If Lydia's getting a stack after heat smash, that should be the case. Because there were a lot of instances, especially round 1, where if you went in the heat and didn't get a stack and then hit the opponent with heat smash, it was actually worse for you to hit the heat smash, especially if you were at low life, then it was blocked. That's something I think she should have just had from the beginning. That was a huge oversight, but that's good.
Hits or punish or these kind of things.
I'm not going to jump for joy at that because I kind of expected it.
An actual match, so you can get a good idea what it'll look like. エヴァの動画でもね。
はい、じゃあ行ってみましょうか。
はい。
はい。
手の内で踊ってもらおう。手加減いらんで。
But yeah, that's good, because the odd thing about combos realigning too is it reduces the instances where... What is happening right now with Asuka? Why does she have all these attack cancels? What is happening? What is that? She, like, there are multiple new moves here. Whoa! What? She has all these charge attacks? Asuka stance? Stance mix up character by. What?
あとタイマーの上にバージョン情報っていうものが表示されてるんですけども、こちらも大会設定等でオフにできるので、まあシーズン1 の通り、バトルの状況表示もバージョン情報も出したくないって人は
That was natural on counter hit.
切り替えることができます。
So what I was just
What a
mentioning,
scrum.
Dude,
what is that at the underground guaranteed wall break? What the fuck?
That said, you can still choose to turn this off if you want to.
What is that? Oh my god, we actually are playing SOULCALIBUR. That is something directly from SOULCALIBUR. That was a heat thing. Whoa, she can go into that to the roll.
そんなに遊んでて、表示は気にならないっていうのと、まあ実際カウンターヒットだと、あ、カウンターだと。
Oh my god, they actually made SOULCALIBUR. Season 1 was a beta patch. Oh my god, we're actually playing SOULCALIBUR. The shit that I'm seeing, that's heat only. This shit that I'm seeing is what I would expect in SOULCALIBUR 6. What the fuck? Oh my god, she actually does go in the Heaven's Wrath there. What
so Nakatsu is saying, you know, he's been playing with this on for a while now, and
what is happening?
It makes it a bit easy to understand because at a glance you can tell if you counter hit and then choose. For
that almost looked like it was forward 2 there, or forward 1+2 for that while running attack instead of while running.
You know, streamers and people like that, or for commentators. It's more easy to understand what's going on.
Sentai 3 wasn't homing.
And touch on that.
It didn't have a homing trail on it.
Asuka の変更での
Whoa! She can do the one into the stance! And then she can do the Sonic roll after? What the fuck? Count that's guaranteed on counter in the Heaven's Wrath into low heat smash? What the fuck?
A brief summary of the changes. And it seems a lot of people in chat are talking about changes to the characters themselves. So we'll end that here.
This is insane!
So it seems like a lot of people in chat like that.
Wait, this is so cool!
We'll leave it at that.
じゃあ戻りましょうか。
Oh my god!
またゲーム画面の方。
Look at all these new moves! Back to Lidia. Lydia! What the hell? No, this is great! That's exactly what I wanted from the beginning of the damn game! when they said that they were going to expand the system so that there was more creativity with the
わ
characters.
かんないですけど、まあちょっとシーズン1からシーズン2
That's much more than 2 or 3 moves per character. Yeah, it's like Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur 6, every character got like 6 new moves. Actually, let me just pull up the patch notes.
So with the remaining time, which Nakatsu is trying to negotiate for more for the broadcast, he wants to show off some of the.
That's
characters
exactly
that
what I
changed
wanted to
the
see.
most. So let's jump straight.
Wow.
into that.
夜までやるか。
いや僕はやってもいいですよ。
俺今日有給なんだよね。マジで。
That
本当に
couldn't have been better.
本当に俺今日有給なん
We
だ
could do
Here,
this until
like,
the evening,
so-
but
ただ
I'm gonna do this briefly. Soul Calibur 6 Season 2, like, this is how many new moves each character got in Season 2.
Nakatsu just mentioned.
Like, you
it
see
is
how
his
many moves there
birthday,
are?
so
There's
he
like
preferred
12.
Not to, and we're all kind
Song
of.
Mina was lower, but she's a more basic character. But like, look how many moves Taki got. Look how many moves that Maxi got.
といつも皆さんお待ちかねだと思うんで
That's what this is making me think. That's more like Soul Calibur, where it's like, it's one move. No, it's like
Let's
8.
start off with Azucena then.
8.
はい、アズセナはですね、シーズン
That's so
1
sick.
は、リベルタドールからの攻めてもうちょっと広げたいなっていうところで
Who the fuck cares about Soul Calibur 6? This is Soul Calibur 7! We finally got it!
So we really want
Finally!
to give her some more options from Libertador. So that's
Brandon
one of the
Bay the
big
electricity bill.
はい、でまあ
Means once it's charged up, something's gonna happen.
シーズンの猛威を振るったこの
Oh,
技
she
です
can
け
go
ど
in
も
the
実はリ
stance
ベ
off.
ル
Is
タ
that
ドール
plus
できるんで
5?
And,
Christ
you might remember
almighty.
that technique from her. It was quite strong.
Sorry,
on
Seth,
point.
my current callus.
Now she
I
can
don't
go
give a
into
fuck!
Libertador when she finishes.
Sorry, that was rude. I apologize.
でリベルタドール
Season 1 really just was the
に
replacement of the arcade runs. It was. I mean, it was a beta patch, right? This is what I was hoping for. This is why they didn't
前入れっぱにするといい
have any real changes in
Just,
season 1 because this is what they were doing.
The transition.
And it makes so much sense. Like, the stuff that I was talking about
LK で
with Reina at the beginning was I was wishing that she could go like stance into stance into stance because that's kind of what you could do in Soul Calibur. Now she can
It's a
do
bit
that.
slow, but you get
And the
plus
heat
frames
stuff
of
as well.
block
Oh, she
that
just
pushes
gets a parry in
down
heat.
and
That's
left.
kind of lame. And that's what most characters were. It was like they got one thing in heat and that was it. And it was kind of lame. But now you go in the heat and now you have all these new moves like what you have in Soul Calibur. Like with Talon, for instance, when you're in heat with Talon, you do BKAA and it just improves your 14 frame punish. And it also leaves you a low mix up. You also have like 2B,
こんな感じで結構
which helps with your mix up
使い
game.
勝手な中断があったんですね
66B becomes a special mid, like stuff like that. Enhances your moves, gives you different utility for those moves when you're in Soul Charge. And that's what I wanted in Tekken 8 at the beginning, and they didn't do
ごめん
that.
なさいちょっと
数が多すぎんだ
Sorry,
数が多すぎて
マジですごい
It was just, yeah, like,
kind of,
you can like do easy electric with Reina. And she gets like a parry out of Heaven's Wrath, so you just hot kick her. Yeah.
こう下段で
But now it's like you have access to like the down 1/1+2. You do Demon's Breath. You can go stance into stance. You can go like whoa, and then Sonic roll at them. It's so sick. That's why I didn't play Reina because she didn't have stuff like that. And I was like, oh, this is kind of lame, whatever. But now I might be playing Reina. I might be trying Reina.
あとはですねこのこれですねこの
This is
下
this is
LP
great. She gets a high and mid crushing mid that's +2 on blocking counter hit launches.
これですね
I'd have to look back at it. I was
ガードでプラ
ranting, so I
4で
missed
ヒッ
it.
トでプラ7取れて
She will definitely crush my mid. Now there's no easy button against
この新技追加
Liberator.
されたんですよ
Yeah, it does feel like with Azucena they made it so it's just like stance mix up the character. Yeah, that's +5. Holy shit.
Yeah, so a punch and hold.
どうですかこれガードプラ4ヒットプラ7
That's crazy.
+4 on block.
Yeah, that's 17 frames, so you can
7
down
on
jab it,
hit
but
for
still.
that punch.
なので
Like your Asuka got some actual offense on Beyond Happy. And the big charge moves as well, so it fits into
からの RP
Asuka's
が割れないんですよ
personality,
So you can,
which is cool.
Crouching push down back.
That
leg
Azucena
kick,
mid
that
looks
little
so
spin kick
fucking
into
neat.
the
I think I missed it.
stance. And that into that punch.
Azucena
is kind
got
of like
numbers.
a,
Fuck. You can sidestep it though, and it looks like it's short range.
なので
Sorry, not normal hit,
What is
but you can't like
しゃが
interrupt.
みに設定しなきゃいけなかった
Pardon me, I'm jet lagged as well.
なんか衰弱
Just sidestep. Why sidestep when you can block and eat the mix up? Who just said, remember when Azucena was cool at the beginning of the Tekken talk?
あれちょっと本当に衰弱
Game
してる
bug?
本当衰弱
Why game bug?
だからもうこっち小さすぎる
中津
のこれ
が
モニターが。
食らってるなら原田さんを殴らないとならないんですよ。
あ、そう。
ああそういうことか
逆だわ。
She was never cool.
さすがにちょっと気が引けるな
I'm sorry, she wasn't.
Harada's saying that if he punches Nakatsu, his debuff will end. But I said no. Nakatsu has to punch Harada to end the debuff. So
That low was
本
I-17.
当
Yep.
は、まあ、こっから
Frame off when I looked in the original
この後これが
trailer.
割れないんで
It
す
could
け
have
ど
just been like the variance
So you
from like a
can't
frame
interrupt that
timing thing or
follow-up.
something.
なぜ
That sounds really going out roller coaster of extremely annoying to to extremely
こん
annoying
な
again.
感じで
Yeah,
ヒートを
that's
作
true.
れる
and you can see you can also do the heat engager.
逆にアズセナさ
I
ん
wonder what that is on block though.
ちょっと弱く変
I
わ
just
った
need them
と
drop him a patch where they delete Azucena's voice lines related to coffee so I can
思う
play her.
アッパー気味な
か
んで
なりはい
そうですね
良くなった方ですね
So a
When
lot
they
of
go to
those were
switch characters
improvements
again, I'll
and
see
not
what that
many,
mid is that you all were talking about.
Nerfs. So as an overall summary, she's been buffed a bit.
はい
She's overall
セナは
buffed.
なかなか
Yeah.
いろんな新技だったり、
はい
I feel like
新しい展開
Azucena's one of those
で
characters like Waz where you don't want them to be
攻
good.
めれるようになってます
Like being
So as you
able
can
to
see,
do
she's
running
got
3-2
several
in the
moves,
stance like that
and
plus 5
designed
is
with more
ridiculous.
options for, coming out
Oh,
of the
was
stance.
that the mid? A new thing that she has in
弱
heat?
くなった
That's
とこ一個だけあ
neat.
りましたごめんなさい
No, I like that. That's
立
cool.
ち状態からパワークラッシュ兼ヒート発動技っていうのをもう一律
Yeah, it was that? Okay.
方向性としてね。
まあ攻防一体すぎてちょっと
It's
さすがに
counter hit
っていう
launcher
ところで
plus 2 on block. I like
こ
it.
れですねこれがヒート発動技じゃなくなったパワークラッシュはあるんですけど
There is
これ
one
でも
nerf,
ヒート発動しま
but
す
this applies to all characters who had that,
これ
where
が一番弱体化じゃないで
単
すか
発抜かしたと
we had the power crush and
Oh, Tiger Launch is
All of
specifically
those
mute
have been done
Azucena.
away with, so this is
Yup.
now just a power crush. それ多くのキャラありますよね。
I like those voice lines, but I hate when she starts talking about
まあ
coffee.
さっきの技、まあ、ここから
I hate her
ガー
intros and
ガー
outros.
ドになったのでこれが割れなくなってるこれも強い点
Also, this is a good follow-up where you can't.
Oh yeah, because I guess if they down jab,
これ
then
を
you get that
ちらつか
counter
せて
hit launch, so that's still
こういう
really
下
good.
段を持っていくみたいな
Sometimes throw in that low kick.
という感じの攻め
I need
が
Azucena to have a move where she just eats coffee in your face like Yoshi with a bad breath
ちょっ
move.
と他の
盛りだくさんにやりすぎた
As a Spanish speaker, I find her voice kind of cringe. That's what other Spanish speakers have told me too.
デビルジーン
やりましょう。デビルジンはどうしてくれるのか。
Oh fuck, here we go.
俺こっそりに文句言ってるよ。So I've been telling, no one saw from behind the scenes. I've been talking to Nakatsu to do something about Devil Jin. So, you know, he was my main character throughout the series.
はいデビルジーンもですねまあちょっとなかなか活躍がなかったキャラだったので
Not
まあ新技
him.
含めて強化がいるんです
Oh no.
So, you know, obviously we didn't see him as much as
Not
in
the
past
forever
installments, so
top
we've
10
seen
Devil
a few
Jin,
more
no.
moves and improvements.
3LPRP これ連続ヒットになってます
So down forward left punch right punch is a natural combo.
で中段の派生のこの RK があるので、
Okay.
まあ、なかなかしゃが
Sure.
みづ
It's
らい
minus
With a
13.
mid option as well, so that your opponent isn't going to easily be able to duck.
Down forward 2, natural
ヒ
hit.
ート
Yep.
戦での戦いやすさが
Honestly, seems really good.
So it should be a bit easier to fight in close quarters.
あとは
That seems
で
really
かいのが
strong.
この弓ガラスです前 LK
Just like a free poke you can throw
Also
out because
from,
if
his
you
fly
duck
from
that, the
forward
like the
left kick.
knockdown from the mid, that
前
seems
LK 中両パン
obnoxious.
チでこの上段ガードフローがついてます
He's got
That doesn't give the full thing
high
anymore.
option, but it is unblockable with both punches.
マイケルさん大歓喜
It gives him plus 5, but it doesn't give him the
怖い
full.
なこれ
Like
extension. I guess it's only in the air
So
now,
if he's
huh?
weak, I'm gonna get a lot of hate, and when he gets strong, I'm gonna get a lot of hate. So
暴れてる人には弱そうだ
あれは2択だよね。俺のヘイトがどっちに来るね。ど
ね
っちも来るという。
強くしても来るし弱くしても来る
Devil Jin can stay bad. I agree.
まあこういう後ろ前
Devil Jin really
歩いて
shouldn't
る
be
から
getting, but he's fine where he's
として
at.
攻めることが
I think he definitely needs
So
some
from
changes,
his,
but
left, right, right punch, left kick, I believe it is. You can use that as a.
he's
basis for
mostly
your attacks.
fine where he's at.
はいあとはですねヒート状態も強化されてます
Also, he's buffed a little bit in the heat state.
I mean, every character is, right?
ヒート状態で 風神ステップ中、まあ奈落ですね。奈落 LK が追加されてます。
Whoa.
There's a new option from his Hell Sweep as well.
これが奈落 RK で、奈落
Okay.
LK で、
Sure.
はい、これ
I mean, it costs him heat, and it's not
And
that
it
much
goes to,
different than when he just does House Sweep normally, right? And it also looks like the first hit of the House Sweep. No, it is when he inputs it. Okay.
こんな感じで。
So he
That is a 60 damage House Sweep. That might be a little bit too good,
Yeah.
これ本ちゃんのデータなんで。
especially when you get well. Okay, that's gonna do like 80 damage.
I was just asking if it's the latest.
Okay, that's
build
probably
and
too
はい
much.
この辺が強化された点です。このぐらいのペースでいきましょうか。
そうですね。
Hey, so he's, those are some of the,
It looked cool as hell. It
points he's
did.
been improved, and we're gonna speed it up to try to get to more characters.
But that does seem a little bit too strong.
誰行こうかな。
Having connection issues, so I'm gonna go to bed. Good night. Good night, rat. Sleep well. Thanks for stopping by.
Kazama, maybe.
Get ready for the next battle.
サクサクいかないと。
Steve took him out.
Yeah, June, here we go. She's got a unique mechanic now.
はい、順もですね、なかなか、展開が作れ
He's
な
been
くて
broken since his debut in Tekken 5.
状態
He's had his time in the sun, let him be low tier. That's what I'm saying.
まあヒー
He
ト
doesn't
中
always need to be a
の技が
boss
強化されて
character.
ます
So up until now, it was
Show
tough
some more
for
Reina.
June to sometimes open up opponents. So now she has some improvements to address this during the heat state.
So I want to say something that's gonna make me public enemy number 1. Oh
言
no.
うとヒートスマッシュだったらこの技がヒート中の固有技になって
Some card
タイ
It's
マー
not
消
that
費
big
技
of a
になって
deal. It costs half of her heat. It's not that big a deal. And it's still minus 14.
Just a move that she has access to during.
If you
heat.
use Heat Burst with
She uses
June,
the heat timer instead.
it's not big. It's essentially a house sweep. She has all that set. It's not a big
ここに
deal.
強化アイコンがあるんですけど
A
も
launching, it's not a launcher.
ここが溜まると、まあ、強い技が打てるようになってます
And there's a power up.
G-string custom is coming. I can put
right next to the heat timer, which gives her
Shush.
access to a powerful technique.
Heat Smash doesn't cost all. Fuck yeah. I think this is fine.
あとは
You know,
前々両パンチ
Because most of the time you only go in the
後ろで
beginning at once anyway,
There's also
right?
an extension to the forward right both punches.
Oh, that's
by
cool.
holding back.
That's nice. And now she has a mid out of that stance too, instead of just the high and then the launch punch from mid. That's
前々両
good.
パンチ後ろの後に両パンチをガードさせて
Plus 6 on block though. It's
So you can
homing.
put
That's
the back to
kind
get
of insane.
there, for an instant, and then go into.
It's also 20 frames.
両パンチですね
both punches
Wow.
out of that stance to get frame advantage.
But when she's in that stance, you can just jab her out of it if she goes
そう
into
序
there.
盤で崩せるんですけど
For example, during Izumo, you can do the.
That's
low
still,
kick to
that being
open
plus
opponents.
6 though is still ridiculous.
まあこんな感じで
It can wall splat properly spaced. Yeah, so it's like Kazuya's Hell Sweep, right? It rewards positioning and incentivizes you to position yourself against June.
ごめんなさいね
Yeah, but that being plus 6 means you can just loop in the forward 1 plus 2, right? Or her high
This is
homing
kind of a
move.
sequence you can use to open up your opponents using low attacks.
はいまあ
It
他に
seems
も
very
いろん
strong.
な変更が入ってますがまあいろいろなキャラ見たいと思うので
Yeah, it's a hoary mid.
この飲
アイコンね
酒アイコン
はい
飲酒アイコンが100なるとどうなんですか
これはですね風間の
Oh, the high beam like high crushes. Well, then can't she just use the? Can't you just down jab her there?
3つの技が今日それはバーチャル旬です
So it's a new mechanic. They're talking about that little icon
こ
where
の
she has
100にな
access
る
to
と
three
こういう
different
状態になっ
techniques.
て
ガーって勝ってる。
マックス状態で
Just 3
スタート両パンチ
techniques.
まあこれが強
Down in
化され
both
る
punches.
と出雲中に
So she's like Setsuka? Like she fills the gauge and then she gets like 3 buffs.
さっきの
下段キック
Trying to do it.
まあこれも強化されてダメージ上がったり
That low kick, the damage is
ヒート中
increased.
の有効になるんですか？
いや
You can
これは
down jab, but if she presses to go in the
他の
stance, you
キ
get
ャラクターと一緒
parried.
で
Oh yeah.
ヒー
Okay,
トとは関係ない
that makes sense.
ものになります
So it's a separate mechanic from Heat, though, like other characters.
マックスおみき状態だね
はい
おみき飲みまくり
そうですね指令が追加されて神々しい感じになってます
まあ、相変わらずチャットで強い強いって言ってるけど、だからパッチノーツ入れしたくないね。
いやいやまあ
なんでまあ
自分が使ったらよかったですよ
I'm waiting for them. I'm not talking because I want to know what this thing does.
強化状態にして、どんどん崩していくみたいなちょっといろんな、
Unless I missed
攻め
it.
手が増えてます
Buff Jin.
Yeah, so
リリ見せて
basically, you know, she just has these new additions to help her open up opponents. 次のキャラいく？
はいで一番大きく変わったのはザフィーナ
あじゃあザフィーナ行きましょうか
あ、いいな。
Oh no,
Let's
it's
go to Zafina. I think she's changed.
oh, they're
maybe the
changing to
low side.
Zafina. There you go, love. I don't know though. This is it's weird that
見てんじゃないですかね
録画
they're
見る
giving her more mix-ups like that though because she's supposed to be defensive. But then again, I guess she mainly gets them in heat, right? Well, no, because forward 1+2 in the stance. I don't know.
難しいんだよねこのキャラ
That one's a bit weird.
ザフィーナはですね本当
I'm just hoping I don't get shot.
一回ちょっと作り直しに
Yeah,
近い
because
リワ
it's
ーク
like
みたいな
that dynamic after heat engager I don't like because it's like heat engager forward 1+2 stance horizontal mid +6 and then it's like post heat engager situation, you know?
俺がいろいろミスりまして
はいで
I don't know how I feel about that. It's weird to me.
アザゼルの力っていうものをフォーカスしてそれらの関連
Didn't see what the buff gave except enhance hell
So
sweep
her buff
damage.
for season
We'll have to
2,
see when the
it's
patch
just
notes
been
come out
quite
then.
reworked, and
Next up, show
mainly
Yoshi got a new
focused
unblockable.
on the
Yoshi gets 8-way
Azazel's
run in
power
heat,
that
my
she's
dream come
able to
true.
concentrate, and use in
If he gets
newer
Super
ways.
Dragonfly, I would be so happy.
非常にリーチが長く横にも強い技
Oh wow.
Back and then both punches,
やべえ
long reach.
はい
これかっこいいね。
フォーミングしかもガードを
This
下手に
animation seems. Is this a Soul Calibur move?
自称して出します
Long range, you use
This
your
feels like a
your
Soul Calibur
own life
move.
gauge,
調子に乗ってやってるとどんどん自分の体力が
Costs a
but,
lot of health
you have to
though.
be careful.
What a keep out. Yeah, she's a zoner now.
吉光さんね、くるくる
なんで、はい、自称しつつアザゼルの力を使った技を
She still climbs back 1+2
マイル
and
パン
it's
チこちら
safe.
も実はリーチが伸びてます
前両パン。
はい
And then forward both punches is the range has been extended.
こちら横に強くない代わりに
Forward
リターンが
+2 has more
高い
range. I mean,
It's
yeah, it
not
makes it more
very
consistent
good
as a punish,
sideways,
right?
But it does a lot of
How
damage.
minus is it? I can't see it well.
この技あるんですけども
Whoa,
実は
that
これ
14 frames
ガー
minus
ド攪
8.
拌があったんですけどガード攪拌なくなって
That's minus 8. Wasn't that punishable
発
before?
生も14から13になっています
Because she
In
has
this
the
move,
high, right?
The startup was increased from or decreased from 14 to 13, and used to be punishable on block, but not anymore.
This is a 13 frame save mid now?
ライトの攪拌に使えたりしますね
So you can use this against hop kicks if you're quick.
What? It's 13 frames and it's safe now? I guess you can interrupt it, but then you can do them like the other mid.
いいな。
なかなか使い勝手がいい技
Hi, Rainbow Neos.
Pretty useful.
Good, everyone. Everything cool. Honor's stance is called Hammer Chance.
そうですねはいこちらも
Her poison debuff mechanic allows her to do chip damage.
この状態でモードスケアクロー中に3両キックってやるとこんな感じで
What the
So that's
hell
her
was
power up, but we were
that?
just looking at that icon. During that, in Scarecrow, you do
両キック
Honor was a
three
cat that was
both
made
kicks.
specifically for me.
Not three, sorry. Down
What
forward,
is that
both kicks,
extension?
and this attack is performed.
Wait, that's Hamaru's soul charge animation.
使い勝手いいですね
And so it's you know, good to
That's Hamaru's soul charge
keep your opponent out,
animation.
get in a Scarecrow,
フラッシュガードさせたり
and then hit with the wall attack.
That's actually Hamaru's.
So from the slash kick is very viable.
はいあとはですねこの先ほど紹介した後ろ両パンチですねこれが
That's so funny.
この強化状態の時に両パン
Is
チを
that
する
4-1
と
plus 2 safety? Yeah, it was minus 9.
かけこんな感じでアザゼルの力を使ってマイナスフレームを有利フレームに変えて削りを取れると
So
Oh my
in this power up
God.
state, this particular move we just talked about gets stronger too. You have less negative frames on block, and you do a bit of chip damage.
はいあとはですね
My prayers have been answered.
強化状態
This is
中
neat
に
though.
このパワークラッシュ
It's kind of like Nightmare's bubble too.
実際 相手の攻
Probably
撃を受け
jails,
止めると
But that's a
パワー
hell
ク
of
ラ
a
ッシ
lot
ュなん
better
です
than
け
it
ど
just being she gets access to one of her, like, Azazel moves when she's in stance while she has that active. That's
You
neat.
can see in a powered up state, this power crush is no longer punishable.
Tekken 8 more like Soul Calibur 7
when you're
beta,
in a
true.
powered up state.
まあこんな感じですね。
Wow, she can do that from the Power Crush too.
So you have these kind of options. かっこいいね。
はいという感じでアザゼルの力を
That's neat.
ふんだんに使いつつ自分も自傷するのでご注意っていうようなキャラになって
So that's just how her install works. It just she has some moves that are unsafe that she can make safe with it.
You do life damage to yourself.
That's cool.
はい
And it's not like it's completely for
何
free.
キャラいけます？
あと2キャラ
Neat.
キャラぐらい
I like it.
Time for 2 more characters if we go quickly.
Yeah, it's not just a terror charge thing, which is great.
あ、King
使用率高い
King いいじゃん。
キング
キングはまあ確かにね
She can use the
King,
Clive back
since
one and
he's
get plus
quite
strength.
popular, right?
What'd they say?
間違えた
Uh-oh.
Everyone's complaining.
Oh, okay,
Steve,
King.
Other people, whoever their character is, right?
Get ready for the next battle.
キングはですね、まあ、ジャガースプリントの遊びの拡充しつつ、
ま
まあ、投げの強化を行っていて、まあ、弱
Here,
体化した点で言うと
I just want to show
まあ
you
これ
this
ですね
because it's very funny.
この技がさすがにちょっと守りの
While
要
they're talking about whatever the hell they're talking about with
やっぱり
King.
まあまず
Who
弱くなってくる
cares?
So you can see, first we'll start off with what's been weakened with him, which
これ
is
が
the stance
まあ
here.
硬直が10フレーム伸びているのと攻撃を受け止めた時のダメージが
Recovery.
もともと 50% だったのが 100% ダメージを受けるようになってます
And he used to only received 50 damage, 50% of the damage of the attack, or now he receives 100% of that damage.
Okay,
はい
that's a
で
good that's a good
まあ代わり
nerf.
にといってはなんですけども、まあ、新技の
100%, 50%
LKRPRP
makes a lot of sense.
This is a new attack that he has now: left kick, right punch, right punch.
はいこれがですね貯めることができてジャガースプリントに行けると
You can also hold, and then you can also go into Jaguar Sprint.
Oh, that's weird.
で2発目カウンターで
Minus
まあ連続
13, but
ヒ
it's
ット
not a
にな
charge
るので
attack.
If the second hit hits, then it is a normal combo. Natural
You
combo.
gotta think though, they're nerfing stuff like back 4,
まあそういう
right?
風に使えますよと
So maybe they're just
You can
giving
use
him a
that to
nod mid to
follow up.
compensate for that.
Sequence of attacks.
Still rather deal with this than
あ
back
とは
4
勝ち途中
or his power
RPRP
crush.
で、まあ、ここからもジャガースプリントに行こう
While standing
That wall
right
muscle
punch, right
can't
punch
stop
now,
me.
lets you transition to the Jaguar Sprint.
They don't make armor punch, but I'm gonna cry. Well, he takes more damage out of it now, which is good.
You can
He has
also
a
hold
super
back from
Jaguar
that
sprint.
sprint.
You know what that means? Yoshi has super Dragonfly.
で
Soul Calibur
ジャガ
taking
ースプ
things
リン
over
トで
Tekken
行
like
って
Venom.
で走ると、まあ、ちょっと赤いエフェクトが出るんですけど、まあ、この時
This really is
から
just like
出せるジャガース
Soul
プリント
Calibur
中の
now.
技がそれ
It
ぞれ
really
強化
is.
されています
Before it was Soul
And you'll notice
Calibur
he
Light, but
changes
now with the
color
stuff they've
slightly
given
after running a few
characters,
steps.
it feels
Doing
more like
that,
Soul
and
Calibur than
you,
Tekken.
have
To my
access to
eyes.
his normal moves from Sprint, but they're powered up versions after you see that
無
effect.
料のアップデートっすよね
もちろん無料ですまあヒート中は、
This is a free update.
常にパワーアップ版が出ます
何
ヒート中は常にパワーアップ版が出ます
Also,
What is
during
Super
heat, regardless of,
Dragonfly?
how
It's
long
something
you
that
run,
Yoshimitsu has in
the
Soul
power up
Calibur,
will
where you know, like how when he does the Death Copter, where he goes really high in the air and then drops down onto the unblockable. Yoshimitsu has that as a stance in Soul Calibur.
ヒート状態であれば、まあ、普段のこの走ってからこれ
In Soul Calibur 6, he only has it in Soul Charge, but he gets access to a bunch of options while he's out of it, but it drains his Soul Charge very quickly, so you have to
during
use something
heat
immediately.
only,
You can't just stay up there forever.
The giant swing.
I want
and
Xiao
Shining
Yu
Wizard
super
will be
AOP.
home now. You can see the effect added.
Oh yeah, we saw this with Lidia in the trailers. Well, no, in the, like Tekken Talk or something as well. Well, like Blue Sparks have that sound now. They
あと
go.
は壁投げですねこれジャガースプリントに行ってここ
Oh, that's
追
neat.
撃が確定するようになりました非常に強いです
Also, throwing into the wall. You can
The
follow
sound
up with
effect is
Jaguar
cool
Sprint.
too. Crunch the arm. That's really cool animation wise. I like that a lot.
はいかなりまあプロレスライクな投げ技だったり
Why'd they give King his back step back?
たりしているのと、まあ、新技も
He needs it. He needs more launchers.
ジャガースプリントに行きやすい技が追加されていて 機動力が増しつつ投げも豊富に仕掛けられるようになってます。代わりにこの辺が弱くなってます。
So basically, his throw game is improved. Jaguar sprint, mini transitions, but that stance where you receive your opponent's attacks and then go into that stance has been weakened.
あとせっかくなんでもう一個
So
だ
it's
け
a
見
mix
せ
of
たいの
both.
が、
One more.
Jumanji, well, this is pretty
シーズン
bad.
2かこれ全キャラクターなんですけども、
King getting
投げを仕掛け
buffs.
た側が相手に投げを抜け
In
られ
fact,
た
it seems
場
like
合
everyone's getting buffs.
投げ抜けダメージが相手に入るようになってます。
Oh.
What if you could sidestep that last charge string? Well, you have to be able to.
King no aite ni damage.
Every charge string you can sidestep anyway, so.
Look at Jin's life gauge.
こういった感じで回復
Oh my god,
投
it's
げを仕掛け
SOULCALIBUR.
た側が相手のガードを読み勝って投げを仕掛
They
け
actually took another thing from Soul Calibur.
回
In
復
Soul
可能体
Calibur,
力
if you
で
break grabs, it's not like King grabs is.
So
Unless
it
this is
does
with
a
generic
slight
grabs.
damage to your opponent, even if they throw a
I'm guessing
skate,
this is King and
but
Heat.
it's recoverable damage.
Yeah, so in
これ
Soul
が
Calibur, if you break a
シーズン
grab, you
2
still
全
take
体の
damage.
調整に関わる変化
It's about the same as it is here in Tekken.
はい全キャラ
But
クタ
this
ー
is
just King, but
another
all
thing they
altered.
took from Soul Calibur 6.
以上ですかね。
But yeah, here's the. Oh,
あとワンキャラいく
they have time.
いきますよ。
何がいい
Here's the Homaru with max rage explosion soul charge animation.
レイナがあるか
レイナさっき言った
It's the same animation as Zafina.
ジン
ジンとかジン
That's two animations from Homaru that they have here too. Yoshimitsu's up back 1+2 is also taken from Homaru. It's Homaru 66B plus
Let's do
K.
Yoshimitsu.
Exact same animation. They say Yoshimitsu.
使われてる側の視点もあ
Did
る
they say Yoshimitsu? Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
なんだな。
What they change?
まあ吉光はですね、まあなんだろう、もともとシー
I
ズン
don't
かな
see
り
the
強か
point
っ
of
た
the
の
health
で
thing for breaking
この
grabs.
2点
It doesn't really do
弱体化が入
much.
っていて用
It was quite
It doesn't do
strong
anything in
two
Soul
major
Calibur either.
areas where he was nerfed.
一つが、用途を使った、各種攻撃のダメージと体力回復量が減ったっていうのが一つ。
So less damage and less health recovered when using the sword.
なので吉光がコンボを決めてるとなぜかものすごい体力が回復していってたと思うんですけど
Honestly, I think that's
それが
fine.
かなり、
Yoshi still has
He might
effectively the
have
highest health
damage
pool in the
that
game,
just doing
so.
a combo gave Yoshi back so much health. And that's
Yeah,
been
it's
adjusted.
true. It
皆
was
さん気になっ
ridiculous.
てる吉光ブレードなんですけど
Whoa! Flash has an animation on it.
And longer recovery on the flash.
That's good. Yeah, I can notice the recovery on that. It looks like the Soul Calibur like animation because it has a GI on it and it has that same green effect around it. Flash in Soul Calibur is like a proper parry. It has a guard impact effect on it.
その代わりに、神話
It reminds me of that.
吉光のこの下と両パンチで出る地雷刃ここは結構、この技を使える展開が作れるようになってて新技の
New flea stuff?
QLPLP
Does he have death?
これですね
Whoa! Oh!
これが
That's
ヒ
cool.
ット時に
He's had a
It's
few
his
power-ups,
it's his
so,
when his opponent on the ground. It's like
this
his.
new move,
This is exactly what I wanted.
left
More
punch,
stuff
left
to go
punch,
in the
now
fleet.
goes
This
in the
actually isn't a Soul Calibur move, by the
ヒ
way.
ット時いけるんですけども
I was expecting them to give him death, but this is a different move. But I love this. This is exactly what I was talking about. Someone asked me months ago what I want to see for Yoshi changes, and I said I want to see a way to transition in the flea. Because he has that in Soul Calibur 66B plus K,
あとは
and it's really cool for just giving you more options. And he doesn't have that in Tekken. He never has. That's
あ
that's
そうこれ
great.
ねそうだヒート発動技どれ例えばこれしゃがみ帰着で吉光悪さできるんじゃないかなと思うんですけど
So people are kind of wondering what would happen with Yoshimitsu now that you can go crouching
Yeah.
地
after
雷刃かな
you
り
engage her.
出せるまでのタイミング遅らせないと出せないので先行入力効かないので
But for this move, it's one where
こんな感じ
buffering is
But they're
not
doing-
available.
But they're
So
doing
that
the
you
core
can't just
circle back
easily
version, not the from
put your
crouch down
opponent
forward
up
one
and samurai
version.
cutter after
待って
that.
からじゃないと出ないようになってます
Which
You
are
have to wait
like he has
for
two
a
different inputs from, and when he's in no sword stance from crouch down forward 3 is a full launcher anyway. So
まあっていうところがまあ
yeah, that doesn't
いろいろあ
mean
るんですけ
anything.
ど
That doesn't watch you that you're cooked.
代わりに
This is all the changes I wanted.
体力の
This is actually just if I was to make season 2 outside of like removing some of the 50/50s and stuff, this is what I would do.
But some of the things that really stood out, like health recovery in Blade, Flash.
I'm punished for breaking grabs. Yeah, but it's not a big deal. Again, it's in SOULCALIBUR 6. It doesn't do anything. It never comes up.
いろいろね用意したんだけどちょっと時間が
Oh, they're saying that there's not enough time.
まあでも別に出勤にしてもいいし変えても
じゃあラスト
ラスト行こう
ラスト誰に
ジンいきますか。
ジンいい
ジンいいね。
じゃあ最
Like
後に
Murray looks like the one
last-
on that's
last-
it. Oh my god,
Final
stop.
versus-
We'll do Jin because he's had.
Oh, that's it. That they're gonna show with Yoshi.
投げ抜けダメージって
Still though, I'm
回復からの
happy to
ダメージだから
see
あれ
that.
で KO なんない
なりません
I'm sad that they didn't show him getting a new
no,
like
no,
SOULCALIBUR
no.
move, and there's something that's changed with Flash, but
So
that as
throw escape
a
damages,
fleet transition is really
recovery,
cool. I
so
wonder
obviously you're not
because
gonna
the
KO someone.
animation for that attack is the same as his opponent grounded up
ジ
one.
ンはですね
I
まあジンも
wonder
すごい
if you
強か
do
った
that when
ので
they're on the
まあ
ground, you can
特に
go in
小
the
技
fleet.
が強かった
That can
ので
make some
小技が
really
軒並み
nasty setups at the
ちょっと
wall
弱体化が
because in the
Jin was
flea
quite strong,
unblockable
so a
when
lot
you
of his
jump
really
wall
useful,
splats. So if
pokes
you
have
do
been
the
from him.
jumping one, that can go in the flea, and then they wake up and you jump and hit them with the unblockable. That will respot them at the wall. That could be crazy.
-9 is now
I
-10.
doubt that that's gonna be possible, but I mean, even for just like Oki at the wall, if you do that as an ender, I can see it potentially being good. But then again, you can, no, you can't spin on your
So
sword.
you can't go to a combo anymore on this.
Second, can't you?
あとですねこれですねこの QRP これも
That's
マイナス
-10. That's huge.
Up forward
Two on
RP is
fours,
now
-10.
-12.
Fucking amazing.
Sorry, 10.
Good changes.
まあその代わりに斬新だったり
Can the break damage kills? It's chip damage.
要素を強化してます
It's kind of the same in
That said, he
SOULCALIBUR
does
too,
have some cool
but it's
new stuff,
essentially the equivalent of chip damage.
From Zanshin and also
ス
from
ラッシュ
his
キッ
step
ク
in.
から前を入れて
I mean, this isn't a
いくことで
big deal because this move is really linear and slow, right?
So
That's
after
fine.
slash,
That's something that you can
hold
do
forward against
after
Zanshin.
like heat engagement. He doesn't have a lot after heat engagement, so that's fine.
3RK が発
Oh,
生
that's
が
counter
なくな
hit.
ってます
Okay, they have counter hit on.
While crouching down forward right kick has a bit more reach now.
これ実際24
It's also still 21 frames. It looked slower in the
And
trailer.
its startup is from, it was 24.
So something
now
about the buffer not being enough for the move to come out in immediate timing. Yeah, but they did do the from crouch down forward one version of it. There's two different inputs for it. Down two isn't a counter hit launcher either. Thank you for keeping up with this.
Are a bit better. Besides down two.
あとは
Still not a big enough nerf on down two, but it's better. Like even if down two on counter hit is still giving a guaranteed follow up, it's too good. But
ヒット状態で、まあ、前々両パンチっていうものが追加されて
During heat,
That was one
he
of
has
his heat
forward
things.
forward both punches.
ちょっと待ってくださいね
Not this one, the flying one.
これですね
The one where he kind of spins.
I mean,
まあここから
かっこいいな。
構えにいけるようになって
down two is just
And then
plus
go
4.
into,
Okay, yeah, if it's not
the
knocking down on
stance.
counter hit either, then that's good. That's fine then. That move kind of sucks.
いや今のでもう違うのやろうかなと思って
No.
But yeah, I mean, I think that like that heat thing that he has is fine.
あとは
Because it costs so much heat and he already doesn't have anything in heat. So it's okay.
しゃがみ状態
Yeah, and that looks reactable. That's something you have to practice, but you can probably react to that. You could before they sped it up.
RP が切りもみが追加されてましてこんな感じで切りもみが起こせる
Oh, you can use that in combos now. Huh.
During Zanshin,
Interesting.
right punch goes into the strong tailspin now.
Omen stance transition, that looks usable. Yeah.
いやこれは
That's
普
neat.
通にいけますね
My hype is slowly dying down by a bit. I feel like they were so afraid of top tiers bitching at nerfs. They overcompensate with new moves. Of course, can't say for sure until the patch notes. It's making me think that we might be in a similar situation midway
see
through
at
the
least
season
two
like
different
last
combo
year.
routes.
No, I play SOULCALIBUR. This is normal. It's not gonna be a big deal. Like again, let me show
こうい
you
う
the.
感じでまあ結構まあ他にもいろいろ入ってるんですけど
Hold on.
まあジンも
Just-
まあ弱く小技
let me
は
show you
弱
real
くなり
quick.
つつもまあそのデビルパワーを使ったり
In case you doubt me.
いろんな
Here's the Soul Calibur 2 patch notes.
作れるようになってて
This is how many new moves one character got.
楽しくなってんじゃない
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
So a lot of
11,
it's
12, 13,
useful,
14, 15.
pokes and convenient stuff was
Here it is for
nerfed,
another
but,
character. Here it
some
is
of
for
his
another
powers and
character.
stances and
Yeah,
things
just showing
that they
combos.
Made a little bit more
Here it is
fun.
for another character.
総じて言う
Here
と
it is for another character. So we're talking about like half a dozen to a dozen new moves for each character in Season 2 of Soul Calibur 6. And it just made the game better.
こういう切り物も追加されてて、かなりゲームも楽しくなってます。
はい
It's
So although
fine.
he's been nerfed, you can tell there's some fun new stuff to try out.
That attack looks really cool.
はい。という感じで
Yeah,
ちょっと
alright.
たくさん持ってきましたがなかな
Did
か
they show the moves for Lidia? The hop kick
はい
is
もうしばらく
fixed.
から
まあそうだね
The
So sorry we could only get to a
off-access
few characters
drop
today,
on
but,
hot kick
one
is
week later,
fixed.
you're gonna have access to it yourself.
That's
so
all they've really
you should
showed.
be looking forward to it.
それまでぜひランクマッチリセットがありますんで第2セット
Do I have the same faith in Tekken devs that you had in the Soul Calibur devs? No, but based on what we've seen so far and the change that they made in the general philosophy, what they've stated,
した状態でシーズン2迎えても行ったところまでの記録は
think that this is going to be good. There are going to be issues.
So I was just mentioning,
It's not gonna be
continue playing
perfect at the
ranked up
beginning.
because even if you end up,
But everyone knows that.
at a lower rank than you were previously, the end of the season will look at your highest rank achieved. So you shouldn't worry about it. Try your best.
Yeah, don't worry about your
はい
rank.
睡眠不足でデバフ気味でたど
Like, you can't go into this with how many changes there are and with all of the stuff that you see and expect nothing to be broken. Expect nothing, everything to be perfect. There are going to be issues. There are going to be problems. There are going to be balance fixes that need to come out. And that's why Tekken World Tour isn't starting until April,
4月
so that they can
1
fix
日に
those.
シーズン
But-
2のパスが発売に
Based on what we've seen so far, like, it's a good step in the right direction.
DLC が登
It
場
just improves play expression, creativity, allows
So
you to
going
do
to the
more of the
past
character,
ones,
removes a
maybe
lot of the
you wanna see,
homogenized
April
problems
1st,
that every character in the game has. And I'm
these
sitting
are
here
the
looking at
contents
this
we're
like,
looking at for the
I
past
want to
so far.
play Asuka.
はい
I want to
で
see the new things with
パスを
Asuka.
買っていただくと
Like, I want to look at
各コンテンツが
Yoshimitsu again and
72
see the new stuff he has. I want to play Reina. Like, looking at this, a lot of the problems I initially had with Reina, it seems like they've addressed them and just given her more stuff, made her more technical, made her stances actually do more.
For those of you who
Give
have
more
access to the
options.
past, that gives you
So-
72 hours early access to these characters
Like,
when they're released.
there are other
So
issues as
that's
well
April
with it.
1st,
Like we see with
or,
Azucena and King and stuff. There are some moves that they've given where they've just gone, improve the 50-50, make the 50-50 better. And that's not good, right? That's not what we want. But they're moving in the direction of fixing that, and their main focus with Season 2 was just making the game more fun when you play your character, right? So even if they can't address all those issues, they still want to stick with this idea that they had at the beginning. And with characters like Ana, we see how they clearly have outlined intended strengths and weaknesses with the character, and Ana is intended to not just be able to get mix-ups for free, but a character like Azucena maybe is, and that's why her 50-50s are better. So the general like design philosophy and the direction they're going based on what we've seen here seems good to me. So as long as they keep up with that, I think this is a good first step in improving the game. It could definitely be a lot worse. And it shows that they're actually trying to achieve a balance between making the necessary changes while also keeping the game what it is and not trying to change it into something that's like completely different because they're scared of like what people are saying, you know? And it's better for them to try improving the game and having a good balance between like what people are saying and people are complaining about and what like they're aiming for, instead of being scared and then backtracking on everything, because then that's how you get a game where it's just like completely disconnected from itself and doesn't really work. So I think this is great. This is the first 10 out of 10 Tekken talk. Ana looks great. I'm gonna play her a lot. Like I said at the beginning too, if you play Lidia and you like Lidia, you probably like Ana.
So I just mentioned that up until now we've had the method in which
Tekken World Tour changes are great.
announced them,
Balance
you know, a little
changes
bit
look
of
cool.
time, given
New
a
moves
very,
look great.
Dramatic,
More Soul
unveiling
Calibur
of
stuff
the
in the
characters.
game.
わけで、
Oh!
これよく見てもらうと分かるんですけど、結構
Pac-Man
実は割と増え
stage!
てきてる
Bandai
点で
Namco Pac-Man
一
stage!
番多かったのは
So there you go. Summer and autumn returning
いわゆる
characters. Winter is going to be the new character, and they're going to have their own
新
stage.
キャラなのか
Makes
ゲストな
sense.
のか
And that also
そう
means
この
that the stage for the summer is
結構
not
そっちなんじゃない
connected
です
to the
けど
character
これ意外
that's
と多かった
coming
んで
back,
すよ
which is really important.
コメントではそれが分からないっていうのが
Play Honor, will you release an Honor guide? Yes, I will.
そうだね他はトレ
If I
ーラ
do.
ー見たりして楽しみたいから
Which I
って
will.
いうまあ
But I don't know how
ファン
much
の
I'll play her.
迷ってる人も多いのでそういう意味で言うとそこは教えてほしいってことだったんで
I like how
これ
Zach
色
yells
のカラ
that
ー
I
の
like how they
ヒント
tease
と
us with
とも
the
に
screen, just show us all the characters and stages, and then
復活キャ
boom.
ラなのかオリジナル
The colors mean
の新キャラなのか
something.
ゲストなのかを分かるように
Purple,
Hi.
Kunimitsu.
And so we made
Kunimitsu's
some
back
changes
in
to the
autumn.
slide so that you can see what's coming with a higher degree of
Kunimitsu is going to
fidelity.
be back in the fall.
One of the things that was interesting
Yep.
when we were asking people's opinion on this matter was
You heard it here
you know,
first.
whether you like the traditional route we
Straight
take
from Michael
or
Murray's
if you wanna
mouth.
know all of them at the same
He
time.
said it, not me.
You know, outside
I'm so
of that,
excited to try the
people
new
who said
Zafina
that they would like to know
changes.
at least whether
I'm
it's
excited
recurring
to see
character
what
or
they've
not.
changed with
It's
Lidia and
actually
Elisa
quite
and
a lot,
Yoshi
so we
and
decided, to try to
everyone.
add that
I'm
aspect
excited.
to the slide. Also, you
I wonder
notice
what
the
they changed with
coloring of
Clive
this,
thinking
might
about
give
it.
some hints as well.
でステージに関
Nice
してはもう
things, I'll take your word for that. You shouldn't.
パックマン
Blue Lei. We got Anna, Lei,
no,
Nox, and that's the same as season 2 of Tekken 7. That'd be
ギミ
weird.
ック盛りだくさんです
BGM 結構
Purple's Lucky Chloe's new color. Oh god.
でギミック頑張りましたなんで結構楽しみ
The blue is Armor King. Fuck yeah. The blue is
As you
Miguel.
can see, the stage is made pretty much.
No, I'm
pretty
sorry. I
much
can't
public
get your
right?
hope up. You don't see any
So
orange, do
something
you,
based
Miguel
on the
players? I'm
45th
so
anniversary
sorry.
of Pac-Man. It's not a rework of anything from the past. It's brand new. The soundtrack to it is actually pretty bomb. And then it also has some interesting stage gimmicks to it as well. So we hope you look forward to that.
Oh, interesting stage gimmicks. Okay. So something unique from the other stages. The two stages in season 1 didn't have any gimmicks on them, so I'm interested to see, especially what they've been doing with characters, how they change that. Maybe there's gonna be a phone booth in the middle of the stage. Maybe we'll be able to go down an alleyway, like in DOA. I mean, that would actually make sense.
People kind of like this.
I could see that.
this way of
Michelle for
approaching it.
Blue.
It's not showing everything at once, but
I could see that.
and
Michelle
still,
with
you know,
Julia.
trying to keep that method of,
It's hard to say
all
though.
the full
I don't think
reveals,
that
but at the same
Kunimitsu is
time,
going to be in
keeping
autumn
people
because I think the
clarity
colors
before
aren't
they
going
play
to
it.
pertain to the character because they have to be contrasting so that they stand out. So if Kunimitsu is going to be any character, it'd be the summer character, not the autumn character.
トレーラーが公開され
Because otherwise you just blend in with that
情報も少しず
background,
つ足されて
right?
いってっていう感じで
That's the way I'm seeing
で
it
きるだけ
anyway.
早いタイミングで全公開できるようにはしたいなと思ってるんですが、はい。
Add ring outs if only. Are we getting a purple Mokujin?
So
The
that
fourth
said,
Mokujin, the
hopefully
fabled
got a little bit
Mokujin.
more detail from this, and we'll be
Miguel players
trying
have to wait for
provide
season-
the
no, they-
biggest
Miguel players have to wait for
reveals we
season
can at
5.
team shows moving forward. That said, we'll try to.
Didn't they confirm one of the
announce these
characters is a brand new
characters
original
individually,
character?
as soon as we can.
That's this
you know,
one.
as soon as
Does that mean there's no
everything's
guest character this season?
ready,
Nope, no
quicker,
guest
hopefully,
character
than
this season.
fast, so we'll try our best with that.
あなるほどこれ面白いですね
What about Anna? Kunimitsu in blue? I would like that. What did Speedkick say? Okay, what is this? Wow, everything is Lidia. And then EXO says, and she sucks. Just you wait until next week.
Kind of rude to the original license.
This was a great Tekken talk. This was a great Tekken talk. All right, everyone, time to sleep. It's 1:30 a.m. This was, without a doubt, the best Tekken talk they've ever done. 10 out of 10. Normally, these aren't worth watching. That's why for all of you watching the YouTube video, normally I don't upload Tekken talks because they're just not worth it. They're garbage. They're full of nothing. They don't matter. They don't tell you anything. This not only did we get an actual good look at Anna, which wasn't like Lidia, where it was just like, yeah, you can mash the 4 button and then go stance into stance into stance, so they're really easy. But actually got an in-depth look at like strengths and weaknesses, general game plan, unique mechanics and stuff like that. But then got a good look in the season 2. They actually communicate with us and gave us information. They're trying to show off a lot of the neat and cool changes, but yet still try to talk about the stuff that pertains to the more high-level players that are watching, so it leaves everyone interested in what they're trying to show, because they're showing the new cool moves, how the game looks now in motion in season 2 with all of these new things. But then also they're talking about like stuff like Yoshimitsu's sword sweep after he engaging, you know, more specific stuff, specific balancing points. They're showing off like the new mechanics, general design philosophy, talking about stuff with Tekken World Tour that actually matters and how it correlates to like dojo events. So they're talking about why they made these decisions, made these changes, whether it's in the game or Tekken World Tour. And then they also kept the advertiser's portion less than half an hour long, which I appreciate a lot. And they kept it brief, but they showed you like what the important things are, so if you want those, you can actually go and look for them yourself. Fantastic Tekken Talk. 10 out of 10. I'm happy with this. This is the first time throughout the entirety of a Tekken Talk I have been nothing but positive about it, including during the ad segment. When they do good, I give them credit, and they did great. Yeah, and then like the stuff with the upcoming season as well, and then like even though they can't just show off all of the characters, they can at least tell you like what the new stage is going to be, what character is going to be the returning ones, what character is going to be the new ones, so we're not left completely in the dark. So it's like they're really trying to get this balance and this compromise between like, okay, we can't just show you every single character right away, because that's like not only part of our marketing, but it's also perhaps justification of why Harada and Michael Murray can go up to like the Bandai Namco executives and say, we need to travel to America so that we can advertise for this. And they say, okay. But if you already advertised it, then they go like, why are you like, you already did this. What do you? And so just trying to find that compromise is also good, right? And there's nothing to complain about. I'm happy with this. This is great. This was fantastic. It was 2.5 hours, and I'm sitting here talking, and I'm not like most Tekken talks. They last like an hour and a half, and normally I'm like, this was so shit. But I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm excited for next week. This was fantastic. I'm so happy with this. Do you improve of everyone, including King and Devil Jin? I mean, yeah, because we haven't seen the nerfs, you know? If people are complaining about it, like, you shouldn't be. Because the whole point of this Tekken Talk was to show the new, unique, interesting aspects of Season 2, showing the new moves, the new mechanics, the new character gimmicks, and showing how they've tried to freshen up the game a little bit, give characters more unique things, get rid of a lot of the homogeny that was with all of the characters, which is something that people were complaining about. And we don't know what all of the nerfs for the characters look like to compensate for that. It goes both ways. Like they said, they remove Power Crush Engager. They give characters a buff to compensate for that. At the same time, they give characters a buff for something. There's probably a corresponding nerf, right? We saw the positive thing characters are getting, but we're not seeing all of the negatives. We're not seeing all of the nerfs. So you can't form an opinion on balance just based off of this. The opinion that you can form is how much more unique that they've made all of the characters. That's the only thing you should be judging here. The unique mechanics and interactions and the things that they've given characters to make them stand out more and feel like their own character instead of being a stance 50-50 machine. Like, you know, every character is in the game. One of the main complaints about the game. And you can't deny looking at this that they've improved on that. That they've changed that. Just look at how Anna's unique mechanic works, you know? Look at how Zafina's mechanic works. Now she has all of these moves that she can make safe if she has her little install thing. And she has to get that in her own way. That's not something our characters in the game have. That changes how she has to utilize her moves in neutral. Or like in given mix-up situations like after a heat smash. That's unique to her. That makes her stand out as her own character. And that's something that we should be praising. We shouldn't be looking at this like, oh no, they buffed all of the characters. Now the game's dead. We don't know what they nerfed. You can't make that assumption. You can't be you can't be worried about something you don't know. We should be happy that the direction that they're going in is making the characters more unique and fun and interesting to play and not just making them all feel like the same character, like no matter who you play. So this is a 10 out of 10. I'm happy with that. Yeah, and Yoshi's flash whiff is now like minus 10 billion. So you should be cheering that too. Engines down 2 is no longer a counter hit launcher.